Hello gamers. Let me fix this layout real quick. About copy chat. Alright. There you guys are. Let me scroll this down a bit. There you go. Well, now let's hope this doesn't break the computer. Hello? Are we here? I didn't just go live on Livestream, right? Okay, so it's not updating anything for me, so I don't even know if it's working for you guys. Gonna give it a moment. I will give it a moment. While I do that, let me set things up a bit. And kind of explain what we're gonna be doing. Pause. No. You pause. Okay. Gonna have desktop audio. We're gonna have. Oh, this is the wrong screen. We want. Okay, there you go. Yeah, this is the right screen. Cool. So we have the right screen. Let me edit what we're doing. We're gonna rewatch season 2. We're gonna go vid by vid. We're gonna keep track. Oh, that's too long. Track battle results. So we're gonna see who caused the most trouble in the series. We're also I'm gonna give you guys some like behind the scenes stories, also feedback. Now's your chance. Like if you liked a part of the video, or you really didn't like a part, speak up, say it in chat. Be like, yo, this part where they talk about failing at YouTube for like half an hour, I didn't like this. Now was the time to do that. Basically, this is me looking back at all the videos, seeing what was good, what was not. Your feedback's appreciated, and I'll give each video a score as well. So if I eventually do make a season 3, hopefully it will be a bit better. Cool. So we have this. I also am going to make a spreadsheet. Yay, spreadsheets. Where we're gonna do trainer, right? So we're gonna go trainer by trainer. We have Katie, we have Verasius, we have Iono, we got Kofu, Larry, Rhyme, Tulip, Grusha. After Grusha, we jump into the Elite 4. So we have Rika, Poppy, Larry again, Hassel, and Gita. And of course, we cannot forget number 15, which is the Professor. I'm pretty sure like everyone lost to the Professor though. But we'll keep track of how each of these trainers did. And I don't need this. How each of these trainers did. And then we're gonna go video by video. And I'm also gonna say chat rating and my rating. So we're gonna give each of these videos a grade as well. Hopefully it'll all make sense once we start. Okay, and then we're gonna give it a nice little grid line, and we will start. Hello, also hi. Let me say hi to chat, and then we'll get it started for real. Okay. Who's excited for Christmas? I used to be excited for Christmas, but now I'm just old and miserable. So, you know, I agree with Matt. If there's eggnog, I'm happy. If there's no eggnog, oh well, I'll go get some, I guess. What are you guys gonna be doing for Christmas? probably editing a video if I'm being realistic. Afternoon for me. Well, hello. Is it Waftrilo? How do I say your name, Waf? I'm just gonna call you Waf. We do see you. Hello, George. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Demon. What prompted the change in dynamic? What do you mean the change in dynamic? What is your favorite baby form of Pokemon if you have time to answer? Baby form of Pokemon. I think Elekid is pretty cool. Even before we start, you made me think deeper about what I didn't like about the Larry video. So usually, I don't know, I just noticed this about myself, but I'm like very much like a go. And I don't know, I think it's important to take a step back and reflect because we're basically almost done with season 2. Hopefully the Turo video is ready for next week. I'm like in the final stretch. So hopefully, you know, we'll finish up season 2 and then I need to consider season 3. But it's good to, you know, just look back and see what was good, what wasn't. This is mainly for me to like improve as a person and creator. What is he doing again? We're just gonna go watch through the videos. I'll talk about maybe some stuff behind the scenes as well. Alright, so you guys, please let me know how the audio is when we start. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I don't want it to be like too loud. We'll do like half volume. I need to put in headphones for this too, otherwise I won't hear it. And I guess let's get started. Let's get started with this mess. Alright, so in total we have 18 videos in the series. It's gonna be 19 at the end. And we're gonna watch everything, including let me just go through this. We're gonna do everything, even the trailer episodes. So we'll judge the trailers as well. If there was a trailer you liked or didn't like, that was a good time to say so. Cool. Let's get started with the season 2 prologue. And this was supposed to be like the teaser trailer idea of we're coming in, and yeah, between how much banter there are between your character and the gym leader. Yeah, it's also interesting to see. You know what? I'll add this to the thing. We'll say view count, so we kind of get an idea of how much people watched it. Okay, let's begin with a paradox I cannot permit. Okay, instantly I'm gonna pause because I decided to use the, I don't know if you guys recognize this music, but it's the music that plays when you jump into the underworld and Tears of the Kingdom. That I was supposed to have a very similar vibe of, okay, we're jumping into like this unknown space. I don't know why I put this there. I think that just kind of ruined fan-made stuff. I needed some filler because of the way the music was progressing here. So like, it needed to like build suspense a little bit before the talking part started. So I just needed something. Man, I didn't realize how much foreshadowing I did at the start of this, because I'm working on the final episode right now, and I'm like, man, it all comes down to this. Also, hi Super, happy birthday! Thank you for dropping by here of all places to hang out on your birthday. Hope you have a wonderful day. I think it helps sets the stage, yeah. So essentially, this is, you know, Terrapago's eyes, very intentional. I don't think this was released until, like, I don't know if we had Terrapagos back then. No, it was a year ago. When did Pokemon Scarlet DOC get announced? That's a good question. Was this before? I know I waited Okay, February 2022. Okay, so I waited for the DLC to be released, and then I made this. Which is why it took so long to start. But I didn't know too much of what the Terrapago story was going to be, so I kind of just had to guess. And because the game's all like paradox this, paradox this, we have a paradox. Somehow I'm the paradox. And why is that? We'll find out in the last episode. I think I made too much build-up. Not enough build-up. Oh yeah, the 4 curses. This will also make sense. I didn't know what to call the last one. Because these 3 are easy. You know, we have hatred, fear, and envy. This one's like knowledge / grudges. Because this one was like someone wrote info down, and that was the curse. So I'm still not sure what the last curse is. I probably is supposed to be grudge, but and then I just had like suspense B-roll. And this is how our character comes into the world. Grudge and knowledge are not the same thing exactly. Fun fact, this was supposed to be the order of these, and then, you know, production changes. So I was supposed to just go in order of gym leader. But the order of the last 2 is still the same. Still Turo and Sada at the very end. Okay, never mind. This is the actual order. Notice it right here. We have Iono, Brassius, Tulip, Katie. Wait, did I do that in that order? Iono, Brassius. Oh, I had to switch Tulip and Katie. That's what happened. I swapped Tulip and Katie's order. No Wooloo and Paldea. And unfortunately, still very true. Still no Wooloo and Paldea. So as far as like an intro goes, the Donzo clip was a nice touch. Yeah, I kind of wish they had like more animations like this. Question, why is the Oleana video in the X Become Champion playlist? This is very intentional. It's gonna make sense for the Terrapagos video. It is basically like a bit of a lore explanation build-up that explains what happened in the story, which is why it kind of fit it at the end. Okay, so in terms of, you know, intro trailer video, how do we do? How did intro do? 39k, not bad, not bad. 39k, it's pretty good. What rating would you guys give this? As like just a standalone video, is this good? I'd give it out of 10. I give it a 6 out of 10. I probably could have done better. You're gonna hear a lot of my inner critic in this one, but at the end of your Sada video, what happened to you? We'll probably not get to this until the next stream, because I don't know how long this is gonna run. But at the end of the Larry video, there was essentially a split that happened. So the character got split into 2 separate characters, and one of them went to Sada's timeline, and the other one sent back really far back in time. And the one that went to Sada's timeline gave up the curse that was protecting it to Turo, so that Turo doesn't become a stake. And then it turned into a stake, like all the other ones that we found so far. But I didn't introduce the stake. Okay, so overall, I'd say you guys are giving it, if I kind of average out the scores, I give it like a 8.5. 8.5. And then we jump into the Iono video trailer. So the idea with these video trailers, which you see I have for the first half of videos essentially, and stops after Grusha, it's because I do these as like live premieres on YouTube. So I thought it would be a pretty cool idea to, you know, have a little intro video for each of the trainers, but I feel like they weren't that interesting and I couldn't really, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling them. Yeah, that's why I gave mine a 6 out of 10 as well. I didn't feel like the editing quality was as good. I think it probably could have made it fancier. To kind of give you an idea of what Season 2 is, and you'd say it reaches fairly well. Yeah, good to know. Steak, yeah. Alright, moving on to Iono.
Hello.
This is Iono. You won't believe what I found near Cortando. Welcome to the Iono zone. Oh, I'm gonna need to turn this up. She's very quiet in this, isn't she?
Sure, it is time for the Iono Zone! Tonight, we're here to check out one of the 10 sites of Paldea, the Grand...
Okay, so, you know, I know it's supposed to be like a whole VTuber, so I thought, haha, wouldn't it be funny if Iono was doing a series where she covers the 10 sites of Paldea? And first of all, this took forever to get made. I think I've showed this in previous streams, but like there're just a lot of different parts, and it's like one person had to draw every single part, thank you Spuddy, and one person had to animate it all. And I looked at the After Effects project and I'm like, I would not have been able to like make this. Like it was done really good. Okay, so she's going over the 10 sites of Paldea.
Olive Orchard! It's totally not a field full of Dynamax olives. No. Instead, it's where we grow and make over 30% of the world's olive oil. Yeah! That's my favorite thing to put on a sandwich. What about you, friendos? Comment below. These olives are so important to the local...
Also, I was kind of going for more of like the shorts TikTok style editing, or what I imagine the people like in Japan think VTubers do. Like based on, I've seen anime about VTubers and I'm like, this is how the VTuber animes act. So that's why I tried to have it structured this way.
Locals, yay! The wow! That they even host the yearly Olive Harvest Festival where you can do the ta-da-da-da olive roll! Wow, that's such a big ball! How are you supposed to push it? I don't know. Just give it your all. Your hard work and good wishes are said to help even more olives grow. So come on down to...
Okay, so this is something I'm no longer able to do in the Pokemon games. Because they updated the camera feature to where it still shows the camera reticle. So now if I want to do like a background shot, I just have to like walk into a wall and have my character phase out, but I can't just have like my character in the picture, because there's gonna be like a little camera reticle like right in the middle, and I don't like how it looks.
And good wishes are said to help even more olives grow. So come on down to Cortando and try it out for yourselves. And once you're done, you should totally grab some yummy snacks at the
And this is supposed to happen right after. So it's the same shooting star from this, and it's in here.
Oh no! Something just fell into the olive fields. Don't worry, friendos. Iono is on the case. Now let's make haste. Oh snap! Look at that! Is that a...
So this is, I try to draw the, what's it called? The Goku scene? Goku crater? I try to, this is what I try to do here. Not very good at art, but this is what I was going for. Why are you so loud?
Did that Marie just talk?
Marie, I should be a Wooloo.
There's no Volo in Paldea, pal.
I'm not your pal, miss.
Yaha! Seems like it's time for an intro ducklet. Your eyeballs are mine! Caught in my electro
I feel like the
web.
background
Who's
music
the one
doesn't
saying,
fit
I
here.
don't know.
Can you talk normal, please?
I don't know. It's pretty normal for me.
Fine, I'll get used to it.
So what you doing falling out of the sky like that, friendo?
Yeah, so something I struggle with is background music selection. I think this just did not fit the mood. But I was like, I need to put something in there. This was close enough. No, it is not wrong if you rate all these 10 out of 10. I'm glad you enjoyed them. This is more like me roasting them and getting feedback so I know how to improve in the future. Shooting star was you, but as a Mareep. Exactly. Yo, hi, Spuddy. I'm not your miss, buddy. Yeah, this is the Reddit memes. Yeah. I try to put a lot of memes in these. I don't know if people notice any of them, but first of all, my name is Vasko. Second, I'm here on. See, I wasn't sure because it's supposed to be like kind of mysterious but upbeat, and I couldn't find a mysterious but upbeat music at the time. Mission.
Oh, a super secret space mission?
No.
But you did fly in from space.
I guess I did get launched pretty high up. It's a good thing I got so much fluff to make the landing.
So which planet did you launch from, little buddy?
This one? I was in that crater over there, and then...
What? Number 13. I've heard rumors that
the last thing you want in your Burger King burger.
But as it turns out, there's also... talking Pokemon! Yeah! Maybe I should go and explore there too!
Hey, wait, no. Don't run off. I need your help.
Oh? Did I just hear Mr. Shocky Sheep ask for my help? How can the great Iono be of assistance to you, friendo?
Well, you see, my mission is to find out if you could become champion. This a new journey. Okay, I kind of like this. I was gonna roast it, but I give it a higher rating. What do you guys think on this one? How would you score this as far as like a character introduction video? View count 26. It's like 10,000 less than the season trailer. For my personal rating, I'd actually give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. There's definitely a couple things I could have done better here and there. Specifically the background music. Probably could have fixed a couple pacing things. I feel like I was trying to cut the conversation short. I don't remember if I even had like more combos in here and I cut them. Because basically this is a YouTube limitation. But if I want to make this as a trailer that starts before a live premiere, it has to be under 3 minutes. So for a lot of these, I had to be very picky about what's included and what the pacing could be, because there's a 3-minute limit. I feel like the personality of the character was captured well regarding the animation. However, you still feel like the season 1 character art styles were better. Okay. You feel like that fades out a bit too early. Yeah. If you remember correctly, Iono was the first trainer that could become champion, right? Yep, yeah. Alright, I'm seeing a 8 and a 9. And then, alright. You know, you guys can give it a 9. I'll give it a 9 from you guys. And now we're moving on to Iono. So, first we had a series trailer. Then we had Iono trailer. Now we have Iono video. And this is gonna take a while to get through because it's 40 minutes long. Ideally, my plan for this, I don't know how long I'll stream, but I'm hoping we get through like the Tulip video. Maybe Grusha if we're doing good. But we're gonna do Iono next, and you just say Iono did really good. Iono's got 207,000. Good job, Iono. This is Iono, the electric type gym leader in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Not only is she the biggest streamer in the entire region, she's... Alright, I was a bit distracted there, reading chat. This is Iono, the electric type gym leader in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I never know what to do for these intro cards, but I kinda like what I did here. There wasn't really enough symmetry though for the gym badge. But yeah, she's probably the most distinctive, I agree. Not only is she the biggest streamer in the notice Clara just subscribed. This is an emote that Jackie made. Jackie's the one who animated this as well, and she's doing like streams on Twitch and she was making emotes, so like I went and bought it off of Etsy. And I was like, hey, can I use this? And she's like, here's the PNG. And I'm like, no, I already bought this. You can't. And then it has a little hearts thing. I don't know if YouTube still does this, but it's supposed to imitate this thing. You guys see like the little chat where you can like spam the little hearts and emotes on the side? That was what that's supposed to be over here. entire region. She's also one more thing. Are you guys noticing? Are you guys noticing the background used for the stream? very scuffed, very scuffed. Very scuffed right there. Only is she the biggest streamer in the entire region, she's also an extremely powerful trainer who will likely end many a Nuzlocke run with her levitating electric Miss Magius. So this is because I've already struggled a couple of times fighting against Iono, and this was like I think she's like the best designed out of all of the like terrestrialization Pokemon. Like all the other ones don't really get that much of an advantage. But she basically gets a Pokemon with no immunity that's fast and like strong. But is she powerful enough to become champion? And does she even care? You see, unlike the Galar region where everyone wants to become the champion, in Paldea anyone can become a champion. It's just a rank here. But just it's still a rank you can only get by defeating all 8 gym leaders, the Elite Four, and Gita. And in an effort to make sure that this rank is held up to the same standard. Is it bad that you're going to be doing a Nuzlocke in Scarlet? No, it's not bad. It's just hard. Good luck. It's a difficult game to Nuzlocke. As in other regions, La Primera will occasionally go through all the gyms to see if they're still on top of their game. Unless she's busy with something else, like say a bully outbreak at the academy where every teacher suddenly quits, and now she has to find new staff ASAP. the teacher scroll, that was not at all intentional. See if they're still on top of their game. Unless she's busy with something else, like say a bully outbreak at the academy. I just picked random. I just picked random teacher-looking characters. The people like Gita and Nemora are characterizing to do better defensive type rather than their... Yeah, but it's very few that did that. Teacher suddenly at the base game. And now she has to find new staff ASAP. In situations like that, she will assign the assessment to someone else. And this time, that someone else is none other than me. And Iono. So in order to see if these gyms are up to standard, I'll be playing through Pokemon Scarlet using Iono's team. I can only use her gym team before the second gym badge. After that, I can evolve or catch the remaining Pokemon from her rematch team as they become available along the way. I'm also restricted to only using Iono's in-game moveset, abilities, and strategies, which means I cannot switch out Pokemon, I can't use held items, and I can't use any items during battle like revives or X attacks. Man, I got really lazy with these descriptions in the future. Like, I have like a specific scene and visuals for each of these, and now I'm just like, here's the rules. Here's the list of rules. That's it. None of those. There are only 2 exceptions to these rules. First, if I cannot access a move yet, either due to a level restriction or TM location, I can fill its slot with any move that is currently available. I don't even explain these restrictions anymore, but I do actually use them. Like, this is still basically the rules I follow every time I do a run. Although I'll usually go for something that is very similar, just less powerful. Second, I can use a once per battle healing item because, as it turns out, these games can get pretty difficult if you give yourself so many restrictions. Anywho, Iono's initial team has a Miss Magius, who can terrestrialize into an electric type, and a Shinx with Intimidate. With this team, Iono can easily take down the Titan Cloth, who for some reason locked itself into spamming Vice Grip, which has no effect on us because we're a ghost. We're literally incapable of catching these hands. Also, the Titan... Okay. These animations were pretty good though. These visuals are pretty good. Are not a required part of becoming a champion, but I had to come to this area to catch the Shinx, so I figured I might as well do the battle for fun. The real gym challenge begins in Cortondo, where Iono has to participate in the Olive Roll. This is the only gym test in the game that has optional trainer battles, but I ended up doing them anyways, since Shinx really needed the extra experience points. You see, if I go to battle Katie with just Shinx and Misdreavus, Shinx can handle her first 2 Pokemon. By the way, anytime I say if I do this, it means I did this. I did this and I found out. By setting up a charge, which doubles the power of her next electric type move, and then sweep with Thunderfang. However, Katie's Teddy Ursa can easily one-shot our electric feline, and unless we get extremely lucky with Confusion, the status effect, Misdreavus can't really do much here. And since I give these battles 2 attempts before declaring a loss, extremely good luck is not something we can count on. What's even worse is that there's really nothing else we can try to do here. No other moves or Pokemon are available this early on, and for some reason, Shinx didn't evolve after the battle, so I went back in to try my... So people were telling me this evolution thing apparently happens like if the Pokemon's fainted? Maybe it's a weird game mechanic I didn't understand, because I feel like in previous games the evolution did happen. Like, I remember there being a bunch of comments about this. Nito, I don't know. Imagine, okay. So it's not as popular of a comment, but a lot of people were talking about the Shinx thing. My luck a second time. Yeah, also, you guys gotta keep in mind that when I'm doing this like 10 times over, I get tired of the same intro, so I try to do something different. And usually the problem is there's usually 1 or 2 good intros and everything else. So it's just trying to come up with different ways to introduce it. I think I just got lazy at some point. And failed. Wow, this is just like the time I took the GMAT. Well, looks like Iono can't beat Katie. Man. Alright, Iono lost to Katie. Is that really what happened? No. I think she had trouble with Katie. She had trouble. So we're gonna have like a few things in the file, right? We're gonna have basically if they lost or if they had trouble. So I'm gonna put trouble for Katie. And if like we lose, it's gonna be a loss. But I think it doesn't go that much worse from here. Oh yeah, if a Pokemon faints in battle after gaining a level, then after the battle it evolved and gained a couple of HP, so it has revived. Yeah, that's why I was confused, because I feel like that's happened to me before. So she can't become champion, so... Oh, if you level by auto battle, it won't evolve. That's probably what it was. That might have been what it was. You're right. Video's over. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the sponsor. Okay, bye.
Whoa, friendo.
I don't think I had a sponsor in this video, did I? There was no sponsor. Wait, there was a sponsor. The Ridge Wallet.
Oh, you can't just give up on me like that.
Well, you lost to Katie twice, and I think this was like a good way to introduce the character. It's like, okay, we lost. GG's, video's over. There's nothing else we can try.
Did you forget your mission, Mr. Shocky Sheep? You're supposed to see how I do against every gym leader, not just the first one.
True, but if you can't even win against the first one, I'm pretty sure the rest won't go too well either.
Hey now, no need to be a hater. Or should I cast a little curse on you for being so mean?
Curse? Absolutely not. Wait a minute, you're a streamer. What do you know about curses?
Mama was a hex girl, so I know a thing or three. Now let's see.
No, you win. You can have a third attempt at the gym battle. Just please don't put a curse on me.
Jeez, Mr. Shocky Sheep. You seem really spooked about curses. It was just a joke.
Well, yeah, I might not be able to get home if I have a curse on me, so This is... I realize if you're new to this, you're probably like, why the heck is he not like curses? This is just PTSD from Season 1. Need to steer clear of those.
Fine. I'll let you off the hook this time, but you better subscribe to me once you get home. Capiche?
Corfish.
Hee. Close enough. Alrighty now. What can I do to win here? Aha!
The solution was to evolve Shinx. We did hit level 15 during our first attempt at the gym battle. Okay, it happened during the gym. I see. It's because we lost the battle. He didn't evolve. Never triggered the evolution. I'm not sure if this is intentional or some sort of a bug, but it unfortunately meant that we needed another level up to actually evolve. This does make us a bit over leveled for the battle, however, it is not my fault that the game does not work properly. If it had, we would have won the second time around, because Luxio absolutely changes how the battle turns out. We can easily take out the first 2 bugs, and we don't get one shot. Yeah, evolution makes such a big difference in these games. It's like if you're doing any sort of challenge run, like evolve as soon as possible, because base level Pokemon can't do much, but as soon as you evolve, usually their stats are good enough to clear early game. Hello, not a PS user, and hello Pokemaster, how you guys doing? The Teddy Ursa, meaning we can deplete most of its HP before getting knocked out. Now, Mischievous just has to hit Teddy Ursa with Confusion the move to win the battle, so I guess Iono is still in the running for champion. Having claimed the first gym badge, we can now catch 2 more Pokemon for her team. Both Tadbulb and Watro spawn near the secluded beach, which is technically on our way towards Artisan. Iono also wanted to stop there to make a recording for her 10 Sites of Paldea video. This area is most likely based on the Dunyana National Park, which happens to include a lot of marshes matches and streams, just like the area where Tadbulb spawned. The not so good news was that all the Watro in the area were level 23, and Brassius caps at level 18, so we really should not try to use this over-leveled super effective bird for that battle, it would not be fair. But since I didn't want to risk another major loss so early in the game, Iono and I kept searching for a lower level Watro in the area. According to Cerebi, they're
this was
supposed
frustrating.
to spawn between levels 14 and
This was basically one of the main things that got me frustrated with the game very early on with the character runs, is trying to find a Pokemon that's like the right level, because all these online sources were like, oh yeah, you can find it at level 14 in these areas, and then I go in these areas and everything's like 27, and I'm like, what, this is not 14. This is not 14.
27.
And you're gonna notice I had issues with this in future videos too. I think it's not necessarily a game problem as much as it is a game resource problem. I feel like a lot of sites tried to cover this very quickly and have the info out, but not necessarily have the correct or accurate info.
But after several hours of looking and one shiny love disc, the lowest
Oh
we
yeah,
could find was
I did get a shiny love disc at least.
this one at level 19. Close enough. So anyways, this thing sweeps through Brassius' first two Pokemon, but it gets instantly knocked out by Sudowoodo's Rock-type moves. Now next was Tadbulb using my favorite early game attack, Mud Slap, to lower the foe's accuracy. Then Luxio could just come in and spam Bite to knock out the fake tree, which flinched not once, not twice, but 5 turns in a row. Never tell me the odds. Having one.
Let's see. In Paldea, if you play through casually, you get so overleveled, like your Kokoro is level 100. Oh my gosh. Yeah. If you want honest opinion, the frustration is a major contributing factor. I agree. I think so as well. It definitely can. I can see why people did not enjoy it as much. Even I'm like, man, this is like the second time I've been salty in like 6 minutes. You only wish you didn't do the gyms randomly. Yeah, that's another thing. It was like you have to know the order. But they're like, oh, it's not linear. You just have to zigzag across the thing and hope you pick the right one.
Against Brassius, we evolved Tadbulb, Watro, and Mischievous, and then we made our way up north towards the mines to grab a Voltorb for the team, and also to do another recording for the 10 sides of Paldea. This time, it was the Million Vault Skyline, which I'm pretty sure is just supposed to mimic the City of Arts and Sciences. Man, doing the research for this video kinda makes me wanna go on a
secret Spuddy art. I hope Spuddy don't mind me showing this. Let me guys show you the actual image of this. Hold on. Let me find this. Hold on, where is this? There you go. Here's the HD version. Spuddy just like occasionally just drops like really cool art. It says nothing and then disappears. I just, I thought I'd share this a little bit. Welcome back, Feline. You want to see people enjoying the game, else we'd click on a video like top 10 things wrong with. Yeah, that is true, that is true.
A tour of Spain now.
I know, right?
Anyways, our next stop will be all the way.
It's funny as I'm gonna be applying for a PhD in Spain, so there is like a non-0% chance that I might actually be in Spain next year. If I do, should I do a visiting the 10 sites of Paldea in real life?
In Cascarafa, where Iono decided to hit up the shops for a cool new phone case. And when she finally made
Oh yeah, I used to try to match the phone cases as well, but then I realized they never really show up.
For the 10 sites of Paldea.
Like, they don't show up in these recordings. You don't really see the phones much. But I did, like, for at least the first 2 or 3 of these runs, I did do matching their phone cases as well in terms of customizations.
All the way in Cascarafa, where Iono decided to hit up the shops for a cool new phone case. And when she finally made her way up to the gym, we were informed that Kofu was currently out of town on a shopping trip. But since we knew him, the league rep asked if we could go and deliver his wallet to Porto Marinata. It may be a cute looking wallet, but it's got nothing on today's sponsor.
Yo! That transition though. You know that was a good transition. We all know that was a good transition.
Wallet is an amazingly super slim wallet with loads of different colors and styles to choose from. It can hold up
I would say they only sponsored me once, but I did enjoy working with them.
Up to 12 cards plus cash, and it's not the size of a hamburger like regular wallets. I personally love how compact it is since I tend to go jogging a lot.
I want to see what I did on this.
It's not just their wallets. Ridge also offers a key case that securely holds your keys and prevents you from jingling.
Yo, it's Cap. It's Captain from Captain Astronaut. That's his dog. I asked him for some footage of his dog running around, and he's like, "Here you go. Here's my dog. You're running." Now, you know your overall opinion of Scarlet is a 5 out of 10, but that doesn't come across in these videos. I actually say it's a 6 out of 10. So now I'm replaying the Let's Go games, and I'm like, man, I'm being too harsh on Scarlet and Violet.
Like a doggy when you're running at the park. If you aren't super sure whether the ridge is right for you, they do offer a 99-day risk-free trial.
No.
However, I really don't think you need it. When I first got mine, my brother was a bit doubtful of how nice the ridge.
I don't know if he still uses it. I think he used it a lot when he went to work out, because it's very nice to have this instead of like a thick wallet. When you go running, like this is genuinely nice.
Wallet is, so I let him use it.
Not sponsored for this part. They sponsored me over here. This was like 2 years ago. I think I can talk trash about them at this point, but
for a couple of days, and now
no, it's not harsh at all, Matt. It absolutely makes sense. I was also thinking the same thing, where it's like maybe I was just complaining a bit too much. I'll do this. Let me put this as useful as feedback at the bottom. We'll do feedback. Be less critical. Try to enjoy it. Be less critical. Try to enjoy it. Right? No, be less complaining. Not critical, it's complaining that's the issue. Be less complaining. There you go. There you go.
Having to borrow his Ridge wallet to record this segment. If you use my coupon code Vasko, you can get 10% off your purchase through September 30th. And for every dollar you do spend,
what's the best
you get a
Pokemon game in my opinion? Hard Gold, Soul Silver.
To win a brand new Ford Bronco.
Okay.
After delivering his lost wallet, Kofu agreed to battle us when he got back to Cascarapa. But maybe he should have taken some time to train up his team a bit, because this poor chef did not stand a chance.
Yeah, he got
Kilowattrel
steamrolled.
easily took
Electric
down Veluza with a
overpowers.
couple of Electro Balls, then got in one last quick attack before Wugtrio knocked it out. Out next was Bellybolt, who got hit with a chain of headbutts, making it flinch multiple turns in a row until it was finally able to land.
Oh yeah, I think I paused this during the other section about flinching. One thing I wish Pokemon did is that they would add animations for like when a move misses and when a flinch happens, because right now it's just text. Like there's nothing that indicates what a flinch is, or like what, and it just says, oh, the Pokemon flinch, and it's like, what? If you didn't even look at the text, like you'd be very confused.
And a Thunder Shock can finish off the Gooey Rock. That just left Crabominable, who was way too slow to defend itself against Electrode's Electro Balls. This ended up being a pretty fair match, since both of us only used 3 Pokemon for the battle. What wasn't fair was Iono making me sit around and wait for an hour while she recorded another segment for her 10 Sides of Paldea video.
You could have just watched my videos while y'all waited.
True, but I would have rather done something more productive with my time instead of just sit around.
I don't know about that. Relaxing is pretty important too.
Do I tell her?
Let me guess. You do this sort of thing too, huh?
How did you know?
Hehehe. Nothing gets past me.
Okay then, oh great Iono. Give me some advice. My channel has been struggling lately and I don't know what to do.
Only
Man, the foreshadowing, struggling even more at this point. But I'm just gonna like give you guys a little bit of background on why I even decided to include this in the first place. So the whole premise of this season 2 is that there's these curses, right? And I was like, how do I show the curses in action, right? Because they're supposed to like impede the character a lot. And I don't know, I just thought about the way these curses are described, and a lot of them are like curses that basically can stop you from progressing as a person. And one of the things is like sometimes you just, you know, when you're trying to get through stuff, it's good if you just label the thing you're going through. So I think in this one it was hatred, I believe. So it's like I kind of hate this, right? So it was supposed to be negative, but I think I didn't nail the execution. Yeah, they do reward daily low effort because people like news, and I'll be honest, even I do that. Like, I'll hop on, I'm just like, I just need to hear someone talking about random stuff while I do like daily chores. But yeah,
if you leave a like.
I would.
this is a fairly heavy discussion, and throwing it out this early in the first video, yeah, I think I very much agree with you on this point.
But I don't have thumbs at the moment.
I don't have thumbs
It's the
at the
thought
moment.
that counts. Everyone thinks being a YouTuber is easy, but the reality of it is quite shocking.
Exactly. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and most people actually fail. Roughly 10% of creators quit every month.
I didn't know my pal was such a whiz, but you're right. I've lost many friendos who had to drop out entirely.
This is like based on personal experience, by the way. Like, there's so many cool creators I've met. Like, they're just cool people, and then they stop and they leave, and then we don't really talk ever, and it's so sad. It's like genuinely sad.
They just weren't earning enough to make ends meet and had to go do other things.
Me too. A lot of the creators that were around when I got started and friends I've made along the way just aren't around anymore.
But it is what it is. So anywho, my advice to you is to just keep trying and have fun with it until you get lucky.
Right.
All right, and Matt, that's the so I'm reading your comments as you go as well. You think the convo should definitely be included, but maybe move the Iono run later. Right, so that was the big challenge, because at the very beginning, like chronologically in this video is when the curses are supposed to be at their strongest. Like, this is when they're supposed to be at their strongest. So like, it's supposed to be the worst at the start. I don't know, I did not nail the execution at all. This is the most scuffed landing. See ya, KO, thank you for hanging out.
Right, which is why I'd rather be working for an hour than sit around and wait for you.
No, friendo, you got it all wrong. It's not about working harder. Well, I guess it helps a bit, but you really don't gain much from pushing yourself too hard. Unless what you're trying to gain is burnout.
But that skill is
Right,
all
see,
that really
never got that from
matters.
watching the first video.
Mean, if your video
I did not.
sucks, people definitely won't watch it. But having a good video doesn't mean that people will watch it either. To be successful, you gotta make something that's good, but also something that a lot of people are currently interested in. Or just something shocking enough that they can't look away.
You've got a point, but there's no way I can figure out what everyone's interested in at the moment, and even if I do, it's usually something I don't care to make. Meanwhile, it almost looks like the bigger creators can get away with making whatever they want, so why can't the little guys? It's not fair, you know. Sometimes I spend weeks working on a video only for it to flop harder than a Magikarp.
See, this is what happens when you overwork yourself, Shocky Sheep. If something does bad, it stings that much more. I do want to help you out, but I don't got the answers for you.
Seems like no one does.
And that's why you just gotta have fun.
Yeah, I'm listening to this. I'm like, the conversation, like the feel just doesn't fit well in where the video is. Like, it's also very early in the video. I feel like this would have fit better like near the end, after they've like worked together on a couple of things. I think the positioning of it wasn't that good, because the conversation itself is good. Also, thank you, Sounds. I appreciate that. Sans, I mean. Not Iono trying to pull Mr. Beast. Yeah.
With it. If you're making the stuff you want to make, some folks will still enjoy it, and you can be satisfied with what you created.
But what if I never end up getting lucky enough? Do I just live in poverty and starve? Or do I look for another job, even if that means I'll have much less time to work on the video?
Worst part is I'm literally in this situation right now. Literally in this situation right now.
I do want to make. Sometimes I wonder if I should just do more mainstream content that I'm not interested in personally. Seems like I lose either way. I hate this.
See, and bam, you got the curse. You got he labels it as hate. So that was the point. That was the point I was trying to get across. So this whole the curse is right. So it's like once you label the thing, you can start like once you acknowledge the emotion, you can start getting through it. So that's why he goes, I hate this. And then bam, Curse of Hate appears, and then the stake pops out. It's supposed to represent like one of the curses being into the Wooloo, not the Wooloo, but you know what. And then
What was that noise?
What?
So by recognizing the emotion, you can let go a little, basically release a bit of the curse's hold on him. That's what I was going for. I don't think it was communicated well enough. I don't think it made any sense. I think people are like, what is happening here? What is this?
noise.
You didn't hear it?
Only thing I heard was little Mr. Shocky Sheep worrying about his YouTube channel a little too much. Listen, friendo, it's definitely hard to find success, but I believe in you. Get another job to make ends meet if you have to. And just keep making the things you're interested in making. Do what you gotta do, but make sure you have fun with it, okay?
Okay.
Now come on, Vasko, cheer up. We got another gym to do. And I heard there's lots of yummy foods there.
Our next stop was the town of Medali, which was packed with restaurants on every side of the street, and students looking for hints to the treasure eatery's secret menu item. But instead of trying to battle them and steal their clues, Iono was smart and went on the little Bluebird app to find all the info she needed.
X
She
now,
also got me
no.
some grilled rice balls from the ice cream stand to try and cheer me up. I was a bit suspicious, but they were delicious. Then we made the place the
This is also a bit of a running joke that you might notice in the later videos as well, of me really enjoying the rice balls from the ice cream stand.
secret order at the treasure eatery and got to battle gym leader Larry. Kilowattrol
Also, fun fact, they've never had rice balls. Never. I've never had it. I've never had the jelly donuts from Pokemon. I don't know what they taste like. They look good.
used Air Slash against his sleepless Komala, and we managed to make it flinch 2 turns in a row, so the little guy couldn't even try to attack us. The Dunsparce didn't flinch, so it spammed Hyper Drill to finish off our bird, then Drill Run to beat up Electrode, but his own HP got dangerously close to
It came across as frustration more than hatred. That is true. That is true.
0. That just left Larry's Staraptor, which terrestrialized into a normal type, so there goes our electric type advantage, but at least it managed to paralyze itself thanks to Bellyboat's static ability. But that paralysis ended up working in Larry's favor, since Facade doubles the damage if the user is under a status condition. This would mean major trouble
Yeah, never put Larry's Staraptor under a status condition. That thing will like destroy you.
had we not chipped away at most of its health when it was too stunned to move. So Luxray could just come on in
Who drew Brassius' sprite? Me? I drew it. That's why it looks so bad.
and finish the battle with ease. There was only one problem. Iono's Bellybolt is not supposed to have static. It's got that annoying Electromorphosis ability that
Alright, sometimes I'll doof during these, because there's like a lot of moving parts you're supposed to pay attention to, and I just completely forgot to check the abilities. So I was like, oh, I technically accidentally nerfed myself in the Larry fight.
triggers every time you hit it. I got so distracted looking for a low-level Wattrel at the start of the game that I completely forgot to check if the
Honestly, Brian, this is one of the reasons why I want to find out how many times I did struggle.
Bulb had the right ability. So instead of running towards the next gym, we took a huge detour to the Tag Tree Thicket where a bunch of high-level Tadbulb and Bellybolt spawn to look for one with the right ability. Thankfully, Luxray made the search easy since his Intimidate would trigger the correct ability at the start of battle. The next problem was that we needed the materials to make another Reflect and Water Pulse, so we had to run down a random beach and beat up a bunch of Magikarp and Weasel, as well as to some random ruins to collect Drowsy Fur. And then we had to do a bunch of raids to get enough candy so that the new Bellybolt isn't under-leveled. Once the new Bellybolt was ready to go, we made our way up the mountain towards another one of the 10 sites of Paldea, Glacido's Grasp.
First of all, it's pronounced Glaciado.
I was about to pause and say I can't believe I mispronounced this, but then I remembered that we did the pronunciation thing as a bit in the talks.
And second, have you heard of the rumors about this place, friendo?
Rumors? Nope, just kinda looks like a hand to me.
But whose hand is it? The main theory is that the entire region of Paldea is one.
Man, the foreshadowing in this. This is revealed in the Turo video.
One giant Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one before. But isn't Glaciado Mountain supposed to be part of that Pokemon's tail? Why would there be a random hand all the way out here?
I knew you were a whiz, friendo.
This
That's
is
why
legit
there's
explained
also
in the
another
Turo
theory. What
video.
if it's not just an entire region that's a Pokemon, but the entire mountain? Maybe those giant Pokemon from Galar were also roaming all the way out here, and one of them got buried under G-Max Hailstorm.
Sounds like a very unfortunate way to go.
So which theory do you think it is?
Honestly, neither. I think it's just a rock that happens to be shaped like a hand.
Dang, friendo. Here I thought you gave me a super effective option 3. Instead, you used a reality type move. Yikes.
This is also a pun because there's a trainer you fight on the way up the mountain that's like, I'm weak to reality type moves. And I don't think anyone caught that, but that's why I have it in here.
I don't think that's a thing. Anyways,
How's the Turo video going? I finished the first 55 minutes of it. Hopefully it's gonna be done for next week, but we'll see.
Which gym are we going to next?
The closest one is in Montenevera. I've heard they got a new gym leader, since the previous one got scouted to be a teacher by Gita.
She can do that?
Right? You don't want to be on her bad side. Anywho, let's go!
No can do, friendo.
What's wrong, Mr. Shakishi?
Boss told me to stay out of Montenevera.
Boss? You mean Gita?
Not quite. Can't say. Remember how I was a bit scared of having a curse placed on me?
Yaha?
Well, since the new gym leader is a ghost type specialist, I need to steer clear of her, just in case.
Right? I did hear a rumor that she can raise the dead. Oh no, are you dead?
I don't know, you're just being silly at this point. Of course I'm not dead.
I don't know, you seem pretty dead to me. Dead serious, that is.
Haha. Anyways, I'm not going to Montenevera. I'll just wait by that Pokemon Center over there.
Alright, friendo, suit yourself. Just promise you won't.
So I don't know, this was also a bit of a theme early on, and then I don't know if you guys noticed this, but after the rhyme video, character has no issue going into the rhyme town anymore.
Why about having to wait this time?
I won't, but please don't take too long.
Oh, I know. How about I stream my battle? That way you have something to watch while you wait.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yay! Let's see if the nice Pokemon Center lady will let you watch my stream on her phone.
And just like that, Iono and I went our separate ways. Anyways, her battle was at Rhyme's gym.
Okay, I like that visual with the Wooloo. Just now, I keep calling it a Wooloo. It's a Wooloo in my heart, okay?
Were pretty interesting since they were the only double battles in the entire game. Boss was also right to warn me about Montenevera, since one of the
My favorite gym is probably Iono.
singers definitely used curse. No thanks.
Also, I do like the blueberry champion idea. I kind of do want to do videos on those as well. And I can, basically I can take like a run where I've already cleared it with a character and then just go do it as like a different character. So I could take like the Kofu run and then do the other chef guy, Crispin. I can do a Crispin run. It's just gonna say that the name is Kofu, but it's Crispin at Blueberry Academy.
After hyping up the stage with her streamer skills, Iono
Also, yeah, that's a Pokemon not existing in every game is a bit Wooloo at home.
finally got to battle Rhyme. She led with Kilowattrel and Luxray, whose Intimidate helped lower Rhyme's physical attacks. Then it used.
By the way, this is a thing they
After hyping
patched
up the
out.
stage with her streamer skills, Iono finally
So there
got to battle
were
Rhyme.
two big things that they fixed with a patch.
She led with.
And this was one of them, where you don't phase through the floor anymore, because you used to phase through the floor quite a lot, and the other one was placeholder Pokeballs. They took those out. So that was good.
Kilowattrel and Luxray, whose Intimidate helped lower Rhyme's physical attacks. Then it used Volt Switch to break Mimikyu's disguise and swap out with Belly Bolt. Rhyme went for an Icy Wind, which lowered our speed, but it also triggered Kilowattrel's Wind power ability. It works exactly like Belly Bolt's Electromorphosis, but only if hit with a Wind move. Too bad Kilowattrel got knocked out before it could actually attack. Iono's next choice was Electrode, who could barely do any damage, and this time she did not hold back with Belly Bolt, unleashing a powerful discharge which nearly knocked out our own teammate. The crowd got so hyped that they gave us an attack boost, and when Rhyme finished off our Electrode, they gave her team a speed boost.
Also, this is a random thought, but when I did the Peony video, there was a comment about the Peony theme being very annoying, so I've been like very scared to use it. But I did use it here, and I think it fits pretty well. Also, thank you, Marcus. Hope you have a good day at work. Thank you for hanging out.
Instead, I kinda wanted the speed boost. Luxray came in to finally finish off the Mimikyu, and Belly Bolt did some chip damage with Mud Shot. But Rhyme was done playing around. She sent out her ace, terastallized it into a ghost type, and let out a powerful hyper voice. Meanwhile, Houndstone vanished into thin air. This got the crowd even more excited, giving Rhyme's team a boost to each of their stats. So yeah, things were not looking very good for our friendo. It is a bit funny how Rhyme turned her electric type into a ghost, and now Iono is gonna turn her ghost type into electric. This helped Miss Magius tank a Hex and then return the favor to Rhyme's ace.
I think I could have done a bit more animations with the type changing thing. Also, hi Slime. I'm not sure how you got here either, but hello.
I got the crowd cheering for Iono, giving her team a boosty to every stat as well. But Miss Magius had taken too much damage, so Iono had to use her one-time heal to survive Houndstone's next attack. The crowd approved, giving us a speed boost, which allowed Iono to get a hit in before the doggy vanished again. But what now? That last attack did 55 damage, and Iono's Miss Magius only has 54 HP left. Here goes. 2 HP! And that means she can attack again.
So this is because there's a layer of RNG when it comes to moves dealing damage. So every move doesn't do a base amount of damage. It like varies. It's usually like plus or minus 5 points of damage. And I got lucky with a low roll, or maybe the AI had a high roll the first time.
And win. Way to go, Iono! After the battle was over, she came to pick me up from the Pokemon Center and did a quick loop around Casaroya Lake to record the waterfalls and some rocks near the shore, which were...
Have ever had affection mechanics save a run? Yes, there's one run. One singular run that affection worked in my favor. But it was very intentional. And I'm trying to pull it up so I can show you. But it wasn't one of these character runs. It was this. The time I took down Cynthia with a combi. I spammed the affection mechanic like crazy in this one. That's how you beat Cynthia with a combi. Also a lot of revives. Yeah, I used so many revives in this run.
were apparently more of Paldea's sites. Anywho, our next stop...
Usually if I have the affection mechanic show up, I just try to throw the fight, like let the Pokemon faint. I wish there was a way to turn off the affection. I agree. So with these games, usually the way I avoid affection is you just don't camp. You don't eat food. Because if you do the sandwich once or twice, I think twice is enough to trigger affection, basically. So for a lot of these, I just don't do the sandwich, and when I do the level up sandwich here, I put in like the starter Pokemon I picked up, or like a Lechonk in the team.
Was all the way down to Alfornada, where Iono got to do a fun workout and then challenge Gym Leader Tulip to battle. We tried the air slash strategy, but only got the giraffe to flinch once, so Electrode had to come in and finish off Tulip's lead. Her Gardevoir got paralyzed by our discharge attack, however our fake Pokeball couldn't do much in terms of damage. Bellybolt was our next best choice because Electromorphosis, although that buff was not strong enough to take down Espathra in one hit, so Iono had to send out Luxray next and went for the Volt Switch strategy on Espathra, allowing us to retreat just in case, and opening up the stage for Miss Magius. Our Shadow Balls weren't doing much damage, and Florges managed to lower our special attack with its Moonblast. That meant that we were not going to be able to hit hard enough to win, but that's why we saved Luxray for last. After our victory, Iono rushed off to record some footage at the Leaking Tower of Paldea, and pretty sure that one's supposed to be in Italy. The next site we went to was the very top of Glaciado Mountain. I would say the view was nice, but we were too busy trying to dodge wild Pokemon that kept trying to run into us, and on the way down we challenged the final gym.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could use repels in this game to stop like things from running into me. Because it is a bit frustrating when I'm trying to get like footage and there's just stuff trying to like run into battle.
Grusha's Frostmoth was an easy KO thanks to our flying type moves, but the bear would be trouble. Yup. Trouble. At this point, Luxray had finally learned Wild Charge instead of Volt Switch, so we could do even more damage, but
oh yeah, I forgot to post this in the Discord server.
The other downside to this powerful attack is that we take recoil, so Sid Titan could easily finish us off. Good thing we have Electromorphosis. Oh, and Bellybolt now knows Thunder, so we really get to shock Alteria's HP. We didn't even need to use Miss Magius for this one, and with that, we've collected all 8 gym badges in the Paldea region. Our next order of business was to level up our team. Grusha capped out at level 48, but Rika, the first...
Xenoblade music hits so hard. Why is Xenoblade music this good? The character male or female? I have male, but with some feminine features, I guess. Xenoblade music is too good.
First elite.
So realistically, Iono only struggled against Katie, right? I didn't miss anyone else.
4-member caps at level 58. The best way to level up our team before the DLC drops is to go up north near Team Star's Fairy Base and make a sandwich that boosts normal type encounters. Then we can just farm all the Chansey that spawn in the area until our team reaches the desired level. Typically, I just go for the ham and pickle sandwich, but Iono had another idea. She went searching for an even better recipe.
So some of these I tried to do as character. So like I feel like Iono would be the type of person who looks at things like TikTok and cool recipes online.
And found this one by
And sometimes the recipes you find are a bit ridiculous, like place 12 tofu and 2 watercress.
Reddit user Kelps06.
Also called it Reddit instead of Reddit.
It was a very weird recipe that had us stacking 12 blocks of tofu.
This was hard to make. I do not recommend.
5 leaves of watercress, as well as a double serving of salt and pepper. Not gonna lie, gamers, this recipe is hard to make.
No. Yeah, the tofu was just randomly like toppled.
Especially since some of the tofu can just topple over. And look, I'm a germaphobe, and even I wouldn't throw away perfectly good food just because it fell off the sandwich while I was making
Yeah, this is a mechanic I don't understand why they did this. Like, why can't I just pick up this leaf and put it back on there?
it. But this game,
Joe
nah fam,
TikTok.
the tablecloth is lava. Anyway,
TikToks to tree. Oh my gosh.
we did eventually manage to make this tofu tower sandwich that vaguely resembled the skyscrapers in Levincia, and that gave us the normal encounter bonus as well as an EXP bonus from normal
It wasn't worth it. Like, it does not boost enough to be worth.
types. Although I'm not sure if the extra steps and complicated setup was worth all the hassle. Anyways, Iono and I are gonna go punch some Chansey, then make our way to the Elite Four. Our first opponent there would be the interviewer Rika, and she's going to be a very troublesome trainer since she is the most grounded of the 4. So grounded that her entire team has a type advantage against Iono. Thankfully, her Whiskash missed its Blizzard attack, so that's one less Pokemon to worry about. But
Xenoblade music hit so hard.
then Donphan rolled out and said no birds. Bellybolt was out next, and this time Electromorphosis wouldn't help us.
I'm
So we
feeling
go
full
for
of
Water
beans.
Pulse, and no chance. Electrode is fast enough to set up a Magnet Rise, which will negate all ground type moves for a couple of turns, and then spams Foul Play while holding on for dear life until it finally
This was a rare instance of the character having a useful move.
knocks out the Donphan. Thankfully, the Dugtrio isn't too bulky, so while it is trying to set up a Sandstorm, Luxray can finish it off with an Ice Fang. I always forget about the camera. Since there wasn't much we could do,
I also still forget about the camera up.
Iono went for the Psychic Fangs in hopes of a flinch, but the giant camo just yawned at us instead. And once we were asleep, it was game over for Luxray. Thankfully, Miss Magius has no weakness, so we can come in and finish off the Camerupt, then face off against Rika's Ace. Our Shadow Balls barely do any damage, but for some reason, Rika decided to just spam Protect instead of Attack, or Poisonous, or, you know, try.
So this is me being frustrated with the game's AI. Because clearly the way her Clodsire is designed, it's supposed to be a Toxic Staller. But like, a solid 60% of the time, it just never uses Toxic on you. It just spams Protect.
We did end up winning, but it did not feel deserved. Poppy and Larry were the next 2 Elite Four members, but neither of them posed much of a threat to us. Once we were asleep, it was game over for Luxray.
So Rika was troublesome in theory, but wasn't
Thankfully,
trouble,
Miss
right?
Magius has no weakness, so we can come in and finish off the Camerupt, then face off against Rika's Ace. Our Shadow Balls barely do any damage, but for some reason, Rika decided to just spam Protect instead of Attack, or Poisonous, or, you know, try. We did end up winning, but it did not feel deserved. Poppy and Larry were the next 2 Elite Four members, but neither of them posed much of a threat to Iono. Magnezone was a bit of a challenge
Sometimes I do this to save on time because I already know this is long enough as it is.
due to its light screen and resistance to electric type moves, but we had good coverage for the rest of her team. And Larry, yeah, Larry uses flying types. He has 0 chance here. Now Hassel, this guy was actually a challenge, mainly due to Haxorus. I mean, this thing was a champion's ace Pokemon, and those are usually pretty strong, usually. Luxray could easily sweep through his first 3 dragons, but it's too slow to touch Haxorus. I thought Electrode's Foul Play would be useful here since Haxorus is jacked, but we weren't able to do enough damage to 2-shot. However, it was enough to get a knockout with Bellybolt's Sucker Punch. Now on to the next Super Jack Dragon, and this time Sucker Punch did nothing. Since Hassel absolutely obliterated Miss Magius on her first attempt, Iono asked me for some assistance, but all I did was apply Paralysis and pass out. However, since Baxcalibur used Glaive Rush,
Should I explain this? I think this means Iono would have lost here. I think this is definitely a loss, and it was I had to be there for Iono to win. Otherwise, Iono would have lost this one.
So for those, I think I've gotten questions about this before, where it's like, why do you have a Pokemon that follows the extra team? It's for situations like this. Sometimes you end up being stuck and can't really clear a thing. So having a little bit of extra help here and there could help at least progress the run, so you can see what happens afterwards.
To finish me off, Miss Magius could now one-shot it with Dazzling Gleam. The main difference between the first and second attempt was that Baxcalibur used Glaive Rush to knock out the Pokemon before Miss Magius, and its effect allowed us to do enough damage to win. Paralysis did nothing, so the real outcome of this battle just comes down to luck. Iono.
Okay, so I'll change this from a loss to trouble. This was just trouble. So hassle, trouble.
Could have won it without me, but wanted to play it safe. And since she did win against all of the Elite Four, it was time for her to fight Geeta for the title of, for the champion rank. Except Geeta does not hold back. She destroys her Kilowattrel, earthquakes her Electrode, gets to face the power of Electromorphosis not once, but twice. And just when we thought we were in the home stretch, she sends out the Go-Go. Since it resists water and electric type moves, we go for Sucker Punch, but fail. She sets up Bulk Up and then knocks out our Belly Bolt. Luxury comes out to intimidate it, removing the attack buff she just got, and then hits it with a super effective Ice Fang, but it barely dents its HP.
Yeah, don't make fun of the Go-Go. This thing's ridiculous. This is like her strongest Pokemon.
Healed. Luxury, dead. No problem, right? Miss Magius knows Mystical Fire. Doesn't one-shot. Horn Leech. Bam. All the damage we did? Healed. Don't make fun of Geeta's Go-Go. This thing is the reason Iono can't become champion. Well, at least on our first attempt. The nice thing about this game is that once you've cleared the Elite Four, you can just go straight back to Geeta. This time we played smart and set up Tailwind first, triggering Kilowattrel's ability and knocking out Geeta's Espathra before it commits any
funny enough, I have to put Geeta down as trouble for this one.
But we know this guy is weak to Electromorphosis, and so is Avalog. The bad news is that we attacked first, so Electromorphosis wasn't active this time around, but that's okay because now we can set up a Magnet Rise and take it down with Discharge. The Go-Goat is back again, but now we have Foul Play, so when it uses Bulk Up, it makes our move stronger too. See, I've learned a lot since that Marnie video. Her Veluza did get to finish off Electrode thanks to its Aqua Jet, but it's weak to electricity, so down it goes. That leaves Geeta with just Glimora, who does have a ground type move. Anyways, this means it's time for Miss Magius to shine, literally, and since it's got plenty of special bulk, she can easily tank through Geeta's attacks and finish off her Toxic Rock Flower. Apart from a few small hiccups on my end at the 1st and 5th gym, Iono's team could actually win against all the gym leaders and most of the Elite Four. Her only real challenge would have been Hassle's Baxcalibur and Geeta's Go-Goat, both of which could be beaten with a little bit of good luck. So I think it's safe to say, could Iono become champion in Pokemon Scarlet? Yes, absolutely.
I got a super cool rank, and you completed your super secret space mission.
Yeah, good job,
Why is
Iono.
Xenoblade music so good? Why does the Xenoblade music fit so good?
Go home, right? But you came out of the sky, so like, how's that gonna work? Should I teach Electro Explosion so we can blast you back into the sky?
No. A portal should be opening up any moment, and it'll take me home.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. Mind if I record it?
Sure, go ahead. Boss didn't say anything about keeping the portal secret.
Great! So, do you have to go to a specific location? Or does this portal know where you are?
You know, they never did tell me the details, but they did say not to worry about where I am. So boss probably has a way to locate me before activating the portal.
This boss of yours sounds like a real whiz. Think I could snag them for an exclusive interview?
Probably not. Boss is pretty busy and told me not to tell anyone who they are, so...
Those darn...
It's Tulip. Tulip's the boss.
NDAs?
A necessary evil, the boss calls them. Anyways, while we wait, got any advice on sponsorships? I got a really cool one this time around, but I'm curious to hear what general advice you have.
Listen closely, Mr. Shocky Sheep. So here's my absolute bestest advice I could give you on this. Blah, 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 blah. Ideas, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Mr. Shocky Sheep. Didn't you say that portal was supposed to appear any moment now?
I think that was a
I
good
did,
transition.
and I'm starting to get worried. It definitely should have appeared by this point.
Well, I've got stuff to do today, so I can't just sit around and wait. But you're welcome to tag along if you like.
Yeah, I think I will. If I stay here by myself, I'll get too anxious. Besides, if we're apart, you won't be able to record the portal.
True, true. And it's the plan, friendo. Now let's go record the last of the 10 sites. Hello, hola, hola. Ciao and Bonjour! It's time for the Iono Zone! Today, we're here to check out one of the 10 sites of Paldea, the Fury Falls! Some say that this area was an ancient battlefield, while others...
So this is supposed to be analogous to the trailer. How the trailer starts out with the first one you run into, and then the video ends with the one that you're likely last to run into, which is the Fury Falls.
Speculate it's an extinct volcano.
And me, I think it's just a nice hot spring. What about you, Iono?
I don't know about the hot spring part. The water is pretty warm, but look at all the giant spiky looking rocks in the area. Methinks there was an
what's your
epic
question?
battle here.
I'd rather enjoy the nice warm water than do battle. Besides, we've seen plenty of other pointy rocks before. What makes these ones so special?
Hehe. I'm glad you asked, Mr. Shakishi. Any of our viewers from Galar would instantly recognize the pattern of these spiky rocks. They all look like the aftermath of a Max Steel spike attack.
How do you know what that looks like?
I am best buds with Raihan, so of course I'm gonna watch all of his matches. And I've seen his unevolved Raldan win so many battles with these kinds of moves.
I guess No, I have not played Shadow Generations. But yeah, that is also true, George. Anyone who's seen. This is kind of supposed to be a bit of a suspense for the people who haven't. Influencers do tend to know each other. Anyways, don't max attacks disappear shortly after being used? Why would this one stay here for so long?
Great question. Grab yourself a zoom lens and lock on to the top of these spikes. See that shiny black stuff? That's called obsidian. It's a special igneous rock that forms when lava cools super quick like. Could it be that the cool Max Steel spikes were countered with a boiling hot fire type move that turned them into stone?
I guess that could happen, but what would a Dynamax Pokemon be doing all the way out here? I thought that phenomenon existed only in Galar.
The magic's in the mystery. What epic battle took place here? What volcanic Pokemon could have petrified a Max
Oh no, it's Typhlosion.
attack? And why did it disappear from history? I don't know, but I sure would like to. So if you got any leads, be sure to comment down below. Catch you later, friendos. Iono signing off.
That was fun.
See? You gotta have fun with it. Otherwise, we'll be all out of juice by now. Juice! And we're definitely gonna need that energy.
You make it sound like we have more stuff to do after the shoot.
Yahaha! But of course, although this one is more of a chore.
Who the heck is giving you chores?
La Primera. Who else? Since she's still busy with the school thing, she asked me to deliver an important package to an acquaintance in Area 0.
Why not get Wild Bolt Transport to do it?
Apparently, the last couple of delivery guys they sent down there were all attacked by a mysterious Cyclozard-looking Pokemon. Since it's too dangerous for the Wild Bulls to deliver, Geeta's sending champion rank trainers instead, and I'm the lucky one today.
Well, think on the bright side. Now you can get some exclusive footage of Area 0.
Hehe, I like your attitude. Now let's go, friendo.
Area 0 definitely had... Wait, which leak got debunked as a hoax? The bad sci-fi writing for Aisada? Maybe. We'll see. That's another thing I'm curious about, how I handle the AI. Mysterious vibe to it. Most of the Pokemon... YouTube keeps lagging for you. Sorry about that. The Typhlosion one. Yeah. I don't know, it hasn't given me any issues on my end. Usually OBS tells me. But so far YouTube has not complained, so... This time, it's not my ISP. Pokemon we saw there looked like regular old Pokemon to me, but we did run into a couple of paradoxes on our way down. Iono also accidentally sent out her Kilowatt throw, but then couldn't get it back into its Pokeball for a while. It almost felt like the Pokeballs got locked up and wouldn't open. The worst part was that this acquaintance we were supposed to deliver to was in a lab all the way at the bottom of Area 0, so we had to trek through a bunch of mysterious looking crystal caves and look for the right way down because nobody left any signs or torches like in other worlds. But we eventually reached the lab.
Yoo-hoo! Delivery for Professor Sada!
I think this was during the people complaining about yellow paint in video games era.
Moment, I'll be right out. Thank you for coming all the way down here to deliver this package.
No problemo, Prof. Sorry it took so long.
Yeah, it was a lot more walking than we expected. Oh, see, I was using Obsidian logic from Minecraft for this one.
Oh my, did that Pokemon just talk?
So what I'm hearing is, you haven't seen any other talking Pokemons down here either?
No, Absolutely not. I've heard rumors of such Pokemon existing, but I've never met one until now.
I don't think I'm that special, but hi, I'm Vasko. Nice to meet you.
Oh no, the pleasure is all mine. Say, would you two like to come in the lab with me for some tea? Sounds like you're both very tired from your long journey.
Yes, please. My legs are so sore from all the walking.
Great, just give me a second to bring in the package.
Okay, was it just me or did she seem a little too excited?
I don't know. She's a professor who loves to study Pokemon, so she's probably just gonna ask you a lot of questions. But take your time, cause I wanna see all the cool science stuff she's hiding down here.
You two can come in now. And Miss Iono, please refrain from sticking your nose where it does not belong. We've got some toxic chemicals in this lab that might melt it right off.
Oh no, she hurt me.
But she does make a good point. Anyways, let's go.
So,
Okay, I do like the
tell me,
character
Vasko,
interactions
was
in
it?
this one.
Are you by any chance interested in helping out with my research?
You mean like the terrestrialization stuff?
That might be what I'm known for, but it's not my current project.
Then what are you working on now?
So you are interested. Good. First, I must ask you and Miss Iono to sign this paper.
Is that an NDA?
Yep, looks like it. Must be some top secret stuff you're working on, Professor.
Correct. If this project succeeds, our world will be fundamentally different for the better. And now that we've got a talking Pokemon with us, we could make some major strides. Follow me.
You keep saying we, but it looks like you're the only one living here.
Area Zero is quite dangerous. Not many researchers are willing to risk their lives in the name of science. I do, however, have a very trusty assistant helping me out, but they like to keep to themselves and aren't too fond of strangers. Now then, mind your step as you walk in.
Whoa, this room is so shiny and sparkly.
Fun fact, if you do the DLC story, like the Blueberry Academy stuff, you'll no longer be able to access this room in the game. Which is something good to know, important to know if I need to get like footage of this room, as I need to do it in a run where I haven't beaten the DLC. Because then they just completely take it out.
These crystals are not just for show. Using their special properties, I was able to develop this.
A console? Can you play games on it?
I'm afraid not, Miss Iono. This is no ordinary computer. This is a time machine.
So you can travel to the future?
The past, and I unfortunately cannot. Organic matter has been unable to make the round trip. Pokeballs, however.
Nope, not a chance. I am not going into a time machine.
Anyone would be reluctant at first, but I can assure you it's perfectly safe. We've sent many Pokeballs to retrieve Pokemon from the past, and we can send Pokemon from the present to the past as well. As long as you're inside your Pokeball, no harm will come to you.
Yeah, as long as I'm inside the spaceship, I won't suffocate in space either, but it's not something I'm willing to risk.
All I
Yeah, no, you're right. That logic does not make sense. Pokeballs have organic matter in them, but I don't know what I don't know what the science stretches here. Just it works for Pokeballs. It doesn't work for just Pokemon outside of the ball.
I'd ask you to do is take a peek at your surroundings in the past and then report on what you saw. There would be no reason for you to leave the confines of your Pokeball.
No, I don't think I will.
Miss Iono, this is your Pokemon, correct?
Yeah-huh. I've got his Pokeball right here.
Then how about we play a little game?
Oh, game? I love games.
Perfect. Then I propose that you and I have a Pokemon battle. If I win, you will lend me his Pokeball.
Maybe there's something. Yeah. No. I get it. Probably say there's something about the casing of the Pokeball that protects from the problems of time travel. I don't know.
So I can run this experiment. And if you win, I will give you permission to record and publish everything about this lab. Does that sound fair?
An Iono exclusive on the hidden labs in the depths of Area Zero? My viewers will love this.
Wait, Iono, I think this is some kind of a setup.
Oh, come on, Mr. Shocky Sheep. I'll be fine. I am a champion-ranked trainer after all.
And so the stage was set. However, the professor
Pretty
immediately
sure everyone
began
loses to
playing
the
dirty,
professor,
using
though.
an unknown Pokemon from the past against Iono. We got lucky and hit it with Kilowattrel's Hurricane, which turned out to be super effective and knocked it out in one shot. Next, she sent out something that looked like a Mischievous, and it also had a pretty powerful special attack. We tried to hit it with a foul play, but didn't do much damage. Thankfully, Bellibolt managed to knock it out with an Electromorphosis Thunder, but even this strategy could barely do anything against the brute on it. Luxray managed to intimidate it and chomp off half its health with an Ice Fang, then it bulked through an Earthquake and finished
And the
it
Sada
off.
writing
Out
is
next
supposed
was
to
a
make her be
Pharaoh
morally
Magnemite that
dubious.
obliterated Luxray with another ground-type move,
On one
leaving
hand,
us
she's
with
all about
just
science, and on the other
Mismagius, who
hand,
terastallized and attacked
wanted
with
to cross
Mystical
some
Fire
lines.
to lower its special attack, and then finished it off with a Shadow Ball. The Professor followed up with a Jigglypuff that hit us so hard we had to use our one-time heal, and then it missed its attack so we could just finish it off. That left Sada with just one last Pokemon which looked a lot like a Mega Salamence, and even though we had a super effective move, it got to attack us first and one-shot our poor Mismagius.
That thing ends runs.
Who got destroyed by an Earthquake. We definitely got tricked. I hate it when people do that.
Oh, notice the hate.
There's that noise again.
Oh no, how could I lose?
That is the power of the past, Miss Iono. I can use Pokemon I've never met or studied before to defeat a champion-ranked trainer with ease, which is why I'd like to know more about them and their environment, and that is where you come in.
Hold on a minute, I have rights. You can't just send me through a time machine.
I'm afraid you don't, dear. Once inside a Pokeball, Pokemon belong to their trainer, and your trainer agreed to lend me your Pokeball for this experiment if she lost our battle, which she did.
There's no way this experiment of yours isn't violating some major rules.
No, I see what you mean, George. I see what you
If
mean.
it were a cruel or unusual one, sure. But all I'm doing is sending your Pokeball through
Time for school. Have a good day, blonde ninja.
time. To you, it should be no different than being sent to the Pokemon box. There is nothing unethical about it. Even Gita is informed about this project and has given me express permission to continue.
That's really messed up.
Now then, Miss Iono, may I have his Pokeball, please?
I'm sorry, Vasko. I got blindsided by all the cool stuff around here, and I really thought it could win.
I'm sorry too, Iono. I wasn't able to help you turn the tides of battle, and now I've got this thing to worry about.
So dramatic, you two. It'll be over before you know it. Now then, let's begin.
And Sada's just sure that there's gonna be no issues. That's why she's acting
Now
like
to
this.
bring him back.
She's like, I've done this a million times. There's been no problems.
What did you do?
Nothing. This process has worked flawlessly in at least 1,000 randomized control trials.
Then why isn't he back?
I don't know. Let me check the time machine's tracking data. See, we've got his exact coordinates, so why isn't the retrieval working? Move
wonder.
aside, please. Assistant, back up all data on experiment TM020132-092. Emergency protocol launch. And retrieve.
I know you're saying Sada's the villain, but notice this. Notice who she
Exact
calls.
coordinates. So why isn't the retrieval working? Move aside, please. Assistant, back up all
Assistant. I wonder who that is. Also, the numbers were significant. I remember it was like based off of a TM.
data on experiment TM020132-092. Emergency protocol launch. And retrieve.
I forget what the TM names were that I actually used for this, but it is based on TMs. I think it was like U-turn, Volt Switch, and then something else, like Baton Pass.
Mr. Shocky Sheep?
I'm afraid not. Attempt number 3, failure. The retrieval process works just fine. And we have his exact coordinates. But for some reason, the machine won't bring him back.
What do you mean it won't bring him back?
And then this thing, the transition here was back, was not good. But this is like the main world. This is where they start off from. The tulip one looks different from the previous one. That is correct. I was not very happy with how the previous one looked. Like usually I try to give pretty detailed instructions, and I'm very clear to point out that like please do not have like the body move. So it wasn't that it was bad. Here I'll show you what I mean. Because I don't think the original was like bad, but like they didn't follow the instructions, and they were not communicating well. Yeah, so this was like the original tulip, and notice how like her body shifts completely for these poses. Like all three of them have like a different base body drawn, and I was very specific, like, hey, do not move the actual base body.
So it ends up looking very awkward when the character is moving around versus when the arms are just moving. So I kind of had to like get it redone because I don't know, it didn't quite fit. Which unfortunately for me meant another $100 to spend. Yay!
Get the chairman on the line right now. Your machine is not working. He's stuck in there. Well, how did you get him out last time? But there hasn't been any curses. We've been observing him ever since he set foot into Iono's world.
Miss Tulip, we have a problem.
What now?
His signal is gone.
And that's the end of the first episode. I also intentionally like removed all the other instruments for this and made it so that it's just the piano. Okay, how are we rating this? I personally give it an 8. I think there's several things I could have done better with both pacing and storytelling. But I think, you know, the conversations were good, the puns were good. The flow was alright overall. But definitely could have improved it a bit. She also didn't fit with the other character styles, that is true, yeah. Like, and again, one of the reasons why it fits with the other character styles, despite having different artists for this, is because, I don't know, I give the same instructions to everyone. And I think the person who drew it, just, they didn't understand English all that well. So it just wasn't communicated too well, I don't know. A lot of great stuff. The pacing's a bit off. I agree, the pacing was definitely a bit off. 8. Cool. I don't know if we even have enough time to get through all of Brassius, but I'll do a little bit of Brassius. You liked it better than the last vid, yeah. Well, the last one was just a trailer. But yeah. Alright. Anything else you guys want to say about the Iono video before we move on to the next one? Anything you thought was particularly needed improvement? Or not improvement? Who knows? Then in terms of difficulty, she had trouble with Katie, trouble with Hazel, trouble with Gita. Lost against the professor, but overall, Iono could become champion. Yeah, prepare yourself for a slump of losses. So that was the other the other thing that ended up making me frustrated about these games, is they're definitely harder. Like, Scarlet and Violet definitely upped the difficulty. I just think people didn't notice because they did everything out of order, so they were over leveled. But it was definitely a much more difficult game. I've played the original Plants vs. Zombies, but not any of their newer stuff now. Alright. I shall move on to a meeting with Brassius, and we will go from there. Ah, the past. So mysterious. So this is supposed to be like a right continuation after Iono. Oh, dark. There's nothing here. And then there's the retrieval Pokeball from the Sada video. Pokeball? Not the Sada video. And it's gone. Darkness and disappearing Pokeballs. The past seems pretty weird and lame. What was that? I take it back. The past is awesome. It's very, very cool. Professor Sada, take me home, please. So this is it, huh? This is how my journey ends. Getting eaten by a dinosaur in the... So this was supposed to sound a lot scarier. I didn't think it quite hit the scary sound. It sounds more silly. I'm not going down without a fight, although it might be better to just run. What have I been thinking about? My whole body's paralyzed by fear. I didn't even know electric types could get paralyzed.
Aha! I knew I heard a noise coming from this room. Something must have knocked over that Pokeball, but there's no sign of a Shroodle in here. Those invasive toxic mice? No smell of one either. So, what could have made you fall on the ground? Let's check what's inside. Huh?
Huh?
Ah!
Come on, get it out already.
Avant-garde!
I don't know if I'm more relieved or worried right now.
Perhaps another feeling entirely. Enchanted to meet you, talking Skidoo. I am Brassius.
Skidoo? No, I'm a Mareep.
If there were still Shroodle toxins left in this atelier, I would be inclined to believe you. However, my eyes work perfectly fine this time, and you are 100% a Skidoo.
Ah, great. As if I didn't have enough problems already.
You seem quite distressed. Do tell, what is bothering you? I don't believe I caught your name.
Vasko, and well, long story short, I was a Mareep that traveled through Paldea with Iono, and then I got sent back in time by,
What's wrong? Meowth got your tongue?
Sorry, I probably shouldn't say who.
Well, this isn't very avant-garde.
I think the best place to start is Iono. Think you can take me to see her?
I could,
Think you could take me?
but unfortunately, I have urgent business in Cortanda. The owner of the pâtissier has commissioned me to craft some decorations before this year's olive roll. I was only dropping by my atelier to pick up some supplies when I heard the strange noise coming from this room.
I see. Well, could you take me to Iono after your commission is complete?
But of course! Well then, I bid you farewell.
Wait, can I come along with you? This place gives me the creeps.
Absolutely! Say, would you be interested in creating some sort of artistic masterpiece with me?
I don't know much about masterpieces, but I am a little interested to see if you have what it takes to become champion.
Truly avant-garde.
Okay. So this was supposed to be the little like introduction to Brassius, and again, I hope you guys notice. So I think one of the problems I had with this is that all of these are supposed to be like the transition between the two episodes. But when people watch these, they just see them out of order. So this probably just seemed like a random video, which is I think why I ended up making it unlisted. Yeah, only 10K. Okay, so we have Brassius trailer. I actually kind of like this one quite a bit. I thought it was pretty alright. I'm gonna give this one. I'm still gonna give it an 8. I don't know. No, I'm gonna give this a 9. I think this was a better character intro trailer than Iono's. Like in terms of a solo viewing experience, I thought it was pretty good. But here I do have a bit. The only thing visually awkward in Brassius' designs are the spikes coming out of his clothes. Yeah. Here, let me. I think I still have the Brassius art file, so I can show you guys like what the process was of doing the Brassius. Or I might have deleted it entirely. I don't see it. Wait, no, we have brass there. Oh gosh, are you guys ready to see this absolute mess? So let's. And this is just Brassius to export. No, okay, so I don't exactly have the older versions, except I do have the older versions. Alright, this is this is beta version of Brassius. This is what beta Brassius look like. I was just trying to kind of draw the face. As you can tell, I'm not a drawer. It moved the plot and established the character. Well, yeah. Give it a. I think this ends up averaging 9. Who did the Brassius artwork? Me. I couldn't find anyone to draw Brassius, so I had to draw Brassius myself. I think the typical artists were busy. The Fiverr artists I was disappointed with. So, this was... Look at him. I did not know how to draw hands. I think I used this in the video at one point. And here, the next one's the main reference I used, because I could not understand how to draw his hair. So I found this on Twitter. And like this, like I just try to figure out like the proportions of the face and just how the heck his hair works, because his hair is crazy. I don't know who. Yeah, there you go. Tamaru 650. I don't know. I just use it for like reference to kind of understand the way his hair flows, because I could not understand this guy's hair. But I think I did a pretty good job of getting the hair down at least, but not the rest of his body. Am I an AI not being able to draw hands? Oh no, I've been exposed. Another thing that's kind of behind the scenes. Let's see if I can find it. I had like big planners for the way the series was gonna go. Hold on, I'm trying to find it somewhere. Yeah. So there was the grand plan of Scarlet Violet. I was gonna include everyone, including the teachers and the Team Star guys. But that didn't really work out at all. And then this was like the grand plan of when character videos come out. And see, Iono was initially supposed to be in May, and Brassius in June. How much behind was I? This came out in October, so I was very much behind. The goal was to do like one a month, right? But alas, this is the ideal world, and then we have the practical world of what actually happened. There was another thing of planning that I had. I just didn't find it, but oh right, there you go. So initially, I was going to have only 2 Pokemon for this. It was going to be only Wooloo and Mareep, and basically Mareep was gonna be for one version and not Wooloo, Skiddo. So Skiddo is gonna be for one version and Mareep for the other, but then I was like, nah, this doesn't make sense. So every trainer gets a different Pokemon. But initially it was just gonna be those 2. So that's why you see Mareep and Skiddo at the start. And I was like, nah, it kind of makes more sense to have different versions. Would have loved to see an Atticus run, right? Write all his dialogue in iambic pentameter. Oh my god, that sounds like quite the challenge. Yeah, someone's having a drum. Yeah, it's my brother. Sorry. Okay, we're gonna jump into Brassius.
This is Brassius, the grass.
I don't know if we'll get through all of Brassius. Basically, we'll probably end stream whenever my dad gets home from work, but let's at least start Brassius and see how we go. So we have Brassius. How did Brassius do view count? 75, so like less than half of Iono. Well, let's see if the quality is significantly worse. Okay. Yeah, that whipping sound effect. Yeah, heck yeah.
This is Brassius, the grass-type gym leader in Pokemon Scarlet and
I think I like this introduction a bit better than Iono's introduction.
Violet. He's also one of the weakest gym leaders in the region, not just because many people will battle him to get their first or second gym badge, but because so many of the other gym leaders, Elite Four and Team Star, have Pokemon that would absolutely stomp out any weed he sends out to the battlefield. So, as you can imagine, doing a challenge run of this game where I can only use his rematch team, including his abilities and moves.
Hope you guys noticed the Sudowoodo from the anime.
Out to the battlefield. So, as you can imagine, doing a challenge run of this game where I can only use his
the Sudowoodo from the anime.
Abilities and movesets, no held items, and no in-battle effect items might not have been my brightest of ideas.
See, in here I kind of fast-tracked through all the rules. So with Iono, there was a very like specific rule, but in this one, not so much.
But it's on part of my grand plan to see just how far each of the gym leaders can make it in Paldea and learn a bit more about them along the way. So I hope you join me on this journey to find...
Oh, reference to the trailer? What do you mean? Like, say, hey, go watch the trailer? Reference to trailers? Find out if Brassius could become champion. And if you find this interesting enough, check out the rest of the videos for the other gym leaders linked down below. Now let's begin. Brassius starts out with 3 Pokemon on his team. First is Smoliv, which can be found anywhere near Cortando's olive fields. Second is Petalo, which hang out near the windmills north of Cortando, but I got really lucky and found mine in a raid den on the way to town. And last but certainly not least is his signature Sudowoodo, who finally gets to be grass-type Pokemon after decades of pretending. It's literally living its best fake it till you make it life. However, we can't get a Sudowoodo just yet because Bonsly don't learn the move Mimic until level 16, and I will be doing my best not to level up my team beyond the next gym leader's strongest Pokemon. So for the time being, meet Bonsly, who also happened to spawn right near Cortando. Geez, Brassius must have spent a lot of time in this area. Maybe he made some of the decorations we see around the bakery. Who knows? Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, since apparently many missed them, that is true. Related to that, trailers should not have essential story info. I have to assume that not everyone. Yeah, that is the problem. And for this, I had like the trailer. The intention was trailer was supposed to be right before the video, but trailer no essential story info. I agree with you on that one. Are Terra raids fair? Yeah. Usually I don't do the Terra raids for catching Pokemon because in this game there's no way to like hunt for a specific type, so it makes it very difficult to find the Pokemon you're looking for. I just got lucky. But usually I'll do like the Terra raids to get a couple of experience candies here and there if something's underleveled. What I do know is that it's time to kick this challenge off by battling Katie and her bug-type Pokemon, which will be hard considering her grass types take double damage from her oh yeah, I drew these things as well.
Bug-type moves. The good news is that they don't do that much damage, so small.
And I think this was supposed to be like the freaked out Rowlet
Pokemon, which will be hard considering her grass types take.
I don't know if this came through. Was it like shocked Rowlet? Let's see if I can pull up the image. It's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be this, but Smoliv doesn't have hands, so it doesn't quite, you know, fit, but that's what I was going for.
Take double damage from her bug-type moves. The good news is that they don't do that much damage, so Smoliv can sneak in some tackles before getting knocked out. But Petalo is a lot less useful since it only knows special grass-type moves, and Nimble's Struggle Bug attack lowers her special attack stat every time it hits us. We did manage to put it to sleep for a couple of turns, but our strongest move, Mega Drain, was barely doing any damage. So with just her lead, Katie has managed to wipe everyone but Bonsly. The good news is that Bonsly knows Rock-type moves, which will do double damage to Bug-type Pokemon, so we can finally finish off our Cricket, and two-shot the Tarantula with a few HP to spare. Unfortunately, those spider bites definitely stung a bit too much, so while Katie is busy terastalizing her Teddiursa into a Bug-type, we sneak in our once per battle potion to prepare Bonsly for its next enemy. And then we use Protect to cancel Tarantula's chain of Fury Cutters, since this move increases in power each time it hits consecutively, and it will knock us out the second turn. But since the chain is now broken, we can go for a Rock Throw to deal some decent damage, Protect to break the next chain of Fury Cutter, and after living with just 3 HP, we finish off the battle with a win for our goofy grass man.
I think I'm gonna put this one as trouble, for sure. And you might have realized there was a big problem with this battle. A very, very big problem with this battle. Which is that I did not terastalize into a grass-type Pokemon. Because if I terastalize Bonsly, the battle's an absolute loss. So I don't know if I should put this as trouble or loss. I think I'm just gonna put this as loss. Realistically, this is a loss. We just got through it for, you know, story purposes, but you watch these in order. If you went in depth for all of them, it would feel tiring. Yeah.
However, you may have noticed that I did not terastalize Bonsly during this battle. That's because if I did, we would have taken double damage from all the bug-type moves and gotten knocked out by the Tarantula. So despite this being the first gym, I would say that in-game Brassius would lose here every single time. Even though he does stand a chance if he can resist the urge to terastalize, the pre-programmed guy inside the game doesn't have that kind of self-control. I mean, this man jumps off of windmills for fun. You cannot expect him to make wise choices during battle either. But then
that does not mean this run is over. I do want to see how he does against everyone else in the gym challenge, and besides, it's an open world game, and you can do the gyms in any order, so...
That is legit one thing that's nice about this game, is that it is open world, whereas in the other Pokemon games, if you get stuck, you're stuck. Which is why the Sword and Shield runs, I did have a need to have the extra Pokemon there on their teams, because sometimes you just get stuck and there's no way to make progress. Like you need like to get like 3 crits or something like that to progress, or an extra Pokemon so you can you could cheese your way through the fight with revives or something. But in this game, it's like, well, if you can't beat them, you just move on to the next one, and that's okay. I did like this about this game's design, I will say. Despite me being very critical of this game, for many reasons, I do actually enjoy the fact that it is open world, and you can just do the gyms in different order. Like, if you get stuck on one, you can just move on and come back later.
Who's to say that Brassius here couldn't just skip the Bug-type gym until he's over-leveled, and then pulls off an easy...
He's pale, but he's not that pale. Yeah, he's supposed to, so one of the other reasons why I chose to draw Brassius instead of, I mean, because there's so many artists online. I could have found someone to draw Brassius, but I thought I'd draw him because he's supposed to be like a little bit unstable, and I was kind of hoping the fact that me drawing him would communicate that a bit. He's kind of uncanny. He's supposed to be uncanny. I don't think I achieved that, but that was what I was going for.
Easy victory. So leave your salty comments at the door and let my struggling continue, because things are...
Okay, I made this comment because there were like a lot of people early on that were like very critical. They were like, oh, you didn't do this one very specific thing. This whole run is invalid. Your challenge runs suck. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like calm down, dude. It's just a Pokemon game. And then I look at like all the other people doing challenges, like they break all sorts of rules, and I'm like, why are people so hard on me about this? I think that came through in this comment, but
not gonna get much easier going forward. Our first order of business is to add 2 more Pokemon to his team. First up is Bounsweet, which can be found wandering around near the north exit of Los Platos. The other is Shroomish, which spawned in the highlands and canyons of Area 3. After taking on several trainers and titans along the way, we were also able...
Yeah, no, ignore the haters, but at the same time, I'm like, this could be meaningful feedback, you know? Maybe they're onto something, but then I think I take them too much to heart.
To evolve the Bounsweet and Bonsly before making our way to Levincia and challenging Iono. And of course, her first Pokemon is part Flying type, so not only does it take half damage from our Grass type moves, it deals double damage to all of our Pokemon. My only option was to use Play Nice, which reduces its physical attack stat by 1 stage. Now that Shroomish can sorta survive, it can also set up a Leech Seed to drain some of the Watro's health between turns. The nice thing about Leech Seed is that they don't go away after the Shroomish faints, so Smoliv can come onto the battlefield and set up a growth to boost its offensive stats, while the seeds drain the last of the bird's health. Although my setup was worthless, since Luxio could just finish off Smoliv in a single bite, just like olives in real life. Yum! So once again, Sudowoodo has to somehow deal with 3 Pokemon if we want to win.
I think this was a loss, right?
Iono's first attack manages to paralyze her tree, and since I was faced with so many opponents, I decided to go for the Mudslap strategy to lower Luxio's accuracy. After all, she cannot knock us out if she can't hit us. After 2 Mudslaps, I decided to switch over to Trailblaze, that way we can actually do some damage to Luxio.
So like legit, Mudslap is the best strategy early game in this game. It's a move they give you access to like right off the bat, and for a lot of these runs you kind of just have to rely on it to like make your way through. It's kind of funny, but it is there like design wise. It's a good thing.
And I use the same strategy against Bellibolt, 2 Mudslaps, then Trailblaze, although I also have to use up my one-time potion to make sure we could make it through to the final Pokemon. The only problem was that Sudowoodo kept being stunned by paralysis, so that Bellibolt got her HP really low before getting knocked out. And despite having used Trailblaze like 5 times to also...
Trail balls. Wait, can you guys see the mouse on this? Hold on. I think I might have hidden the mouse. Oh no, you do see the mouse. Trail balls. I don't think I ever fixed this.
Boost our speed, Iono's Miss Magius could just hit us, just lose us here. Sudowoodo could bulk its way through Luxio and Bellibolt since it's a very physically defensive Pokemon, but Miss Magius uses special attacks and has such a high speed stat.
I never figured out what to do to show like the different Pokemon stats. Like I need to figure out a good format to show this in the future.
that we can't even hope to get a hit in. Iono is just that good. However, I am better. You see, once you complete the Sunflora hunt in Artisan, you can talk to the attendant one more time and do
Oh
it all
shoot,
over
this
again.
isn't a
But
loss,
this time,
is
You
it?
get a special reward
This
for
is a
finding all
trouble.
the Sunflora, a sunstone, which can be used to evolve Petalo into
This is
Lilligant.
totally
And
legal.
this flower is an absolute powerhouse of a Pokemon. It learns 2 amazing moves the moment it evolves.
Okay, so question for you guys. So I kind of do this in some of these videos where I intentionally show the character losing on their first attempt and then finding a way to overcome the battle. How do you guys feel about that type of writing? Because I don't know if that's a good thing in general. Because usually, again, when I see the other people who make challenge runs, they usually just show the wins. They're like, I did this and then I won, and then I did this and then I won. I intentionally wanted to try something different, which I think it just fits well, where it's like you show how a loss would happen and then why you need the thing to win. And I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's just silly extras that I have. Could you not just take the stat spread from Mobipedia? That's what I do in the future, but you love seeing that it wasn't just a cakewalk because you particularly like seeing the strategy that doesn't, yeah. So usually the way I do is like I go with the base strategy, and then if it fails, I find a different strategy, essentially. Not making it so monotonous. You personally don't mind. You feel like seeing the characters switch up their strategies to overcome obstacles makes good storytelling. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure it's not just one of those things where I think it's a good idea, but then it just comes out as bland.
First is Quiver Dance, which boosts the user's special attack,
But
special
Lilligant
defense,
is such a
and
broken
speed stat
Pokemon.
by 1 stage. Then we have Petal Dance, a powerful grass type move that locks in for 2 to 3 turns, then applies confusion to its user. However, thanks to Lilligant's own tempo ability, we will not be confused when the move ends.
This
We
thing is
also
so
get to
broken.
keep Mega Drain, which allows us to restore some health while knocking out Luxio, but since Iono plays dirty and paralyzes us, I decided to drop my one-time heal, then set up some more Quiver Dance. And then I go for the Mega Drain to try and restore some of our health, although thanks to that pesky Electromorphosis ability, Bellibolt kept knocking it back down to the red over and over again. But that's okay, because now that its own HP is in the red, it's time to twirl.
Oh, so this is a Starrel meme, and I thought it would be funny to put it in here.
And not even her Miss Magius is safe from
As a character has a, in English it's just time to twirl, but in the Japanese version,
our overpowered Lilligant.
Oh no!
and here's the thing, this is what Brassius actually has on his team. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. So Gym Leader rematches. And let's see, Brassius, Quiver Dance, Petal Blizzard. Yeah. Wait, is that what I use? Did I use Petal Blizzard? Petal Dance is what it's supposed to be, but I don't think it's available that early on. Right? That's... Nope. I think... Did I... Oh no. Oh no. Did I see Petal at the front of both of these and use the wrong move the whole run? Anyways.
How could I lose?
That's because you underestimated the power of Mr. Shocky Sheep.
But I've never met a Mr. Shocky Sheep. Never mind that. Are you doing okay, Brassius? You sound a little different.
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Thank you for asking, Miss Iono.
Wow! How did you just change your voice like that? You have to teach me.
As much as I would love to take you on as my apprentice, I'm afraid that is no mere voice acting. Take it away, maestro!
So you don't remember me at all.
A talking Pokemon? I never forget someone like that.
Which is strange, because we should have met when you were recording for your 10 Sides of Paldea videos.
How did you hear about that series? I did make a sample episode, but it just didn't vibe with me.
So, if you pay attention to timeline-wise, the sample episode is the Cortando Olive Roll, and in this timeline, there never was a Mareep falling out of the sky during that episode.
Too much promo. Not enough Ayana!
So she just didn't do the series.
So, no Mareep falling out of the sky?
No, friendo. Although that definitely would have made for some good content.
I see. Seems we're back to square one.
So,
I feel like I should have done a bit of setup, but if you're watching this in order, this would have made sense. But if you're watching this as your first video, it doesn't make sense.
Wanna be in a video?
As fun as that sounds, I think I'll have to pass. For now I have to focus on figuring out what's going on.
Aw, alrighty then. Another time. See you later, friendos!
Thanks, Iono. See ya!
Seems like you've hit a dead end.
Not quite. I do have one more lead, but to do that, I'm going to need you to become champion.
That is quite the grand role for someone as meager as me. But if these past 2 battles have been enough to pass my audition, I will gladly play my part in creating your masterpiece.
I'm just trying to find my way home. No masterpieces here.
It seems you've been blinded by a mudshot from Arceus itself. You see, little maestro, art imitates life, your journey, your struggles, your companions along the way. They are akin to the shapes and colors that take form. What you see as mere inconvenience at present, I see as the outline for a wonderful masterpiece. Truly avant-garde.
I don't get it, but I can kinda see where you're going with this. Anyways, let's make our way to the next gym.
As you wish, maestro.
Having obtained our second gym badge, we decided to take on the lurking Steel Titan and level up our team a bit before heading out west towards Cascarafa, where we finally get to have a type advantage. All we had to do was set up one quiver dance, then twirl our way to victory. I was so scared that I was gonna get copyright claimed for using this, but I didn't. But yeah, I did not get copyright claimed. That was a big fear in making this. Man, Lilligant is such a strong Pokemon. It could also twirl through all 3 of the students looking for clues to the secret menu order in Medali, which was Brassius' favorite gym test. He thought that all of the clues were very tastefully hidden. Larry's Komala was not impressed by this joke and used Yawn to put Lilligant to sleep, which meant that a Dudunsparce could knock out our Power Flower before we could wipe him out with our Twirl power. We did some chip damage with Dolliv, then sent out Serena to drop kick this roadblock out of the way, although he did manage to paralyze us with a glare. This left Larry with just his Staraptor, who intimidated us and, oh yeah, has a flying type move that can one-shot anyone on our team. But by a stroke of luck, Shroomish got to trigger its Effect Spore ability and put the bird to sleep right as it got knocked out. This meant Sudowoodo could safely come in and trailblaze through Staraptor's HP, and finally get in a sneaky Sucker Punch to finish it off before it can cut down our fake tree. We got quite a bit lucky here, but hey, a win is a win. Things were looking up for Brassius, but before we go on to the next... Yeah, I think for the future, I'm kind of gonna do the Ace Attorney thing where they're just like, it was that case, and then they give like a very brief thing, but they don't really go into detail about it. I've been playing a lot of Ace Attorney. I kind of like that structure of yeah. Okay. Jim, it was time for a detour. You see, the way I handle the moveset rule for these runs is to teach the endgame move to my Pokemon as soon as it's available. For some TM-based moves, that means I can't get it until I've defeated one of the last 2 Titans, since most of the TMs are available in the overworld, but are hidden on some ledges or cliffs that I need to glide or climb to reach. There is, however, an exception. The TMs for the Elemental Punches are only available as craftable items from the TM machine, but to get their recipes, I need to defeat Don Atticus. I generally don't talk about the Team Star battles because the extreme limitations of these runs make them near impossible to win, especially against those Starmobiles which will run over anything I try to use. I guess that makes sense lore-wise too. The gym leaders simply cannot defeat Team Star, and that's why all of their bases have remained untouched for like a year and a half. The only way I could win the fight against Atticus was by not terastallizing Sudowoodo and alternating between spamming healing items and Rock Slide. Now I know this obviously breaks all the rules I've set for this run, and you can get as salty at me as you want, but unless you can clear this challenge run with all these restrictions, I don't want to hear it. My priorities are on keeping the team as true to character as possible and seeing how Brassius does against the gym leaders in Elite Four. So if I have to push the rules a bit to get a TM from Team Star, I think that is a-okay. Besides, I still have to put in the extra work to actually craft a TM. This includes grabbing a chocolate churro to boost the spawn rate of Metatite, as well as to go through all the said spawns for Sharkadad, whose drop so needs to craft a TM. All this just to teach Sudowoodo Fire Punch. While we're at it, I also picked up the TM for Hyper Beam so Lilligant can be even stronger and evolved Dolliv into Arboliva on our way to Montana. You know, I should probably wait out here.
You climbed so far up this icy mountain, only to turn tail moments before reaching the warm refuge of a magnificently musical town?
There's a couple of candles near the entrance, and those speakers blast the music so loud, even a graveyard buried deep below the snow could enjoy the concerts.
And here I thought I was the strange one in this pair.
Well, I'm already lost enough as it is. I can't risk getting a curse placed on me by one of those ghost-type trainers in town.
You speak as if Haunter is the only thing that knows how to use curse. Could it not be said that life itself is filled with curses? Things such as these circumstances of our birth and our present predicaments can often weigh us down much more than a simple curse. And unlike the
Alright, I
ones
have
cast
returned
by
gamers. What did I miss? What's your favorite hidden ability? I don't know. I would say protein. That's the only one I know, but I don't know. From what you disclosed in this video, I think Atticus an area where the Team Star members, they gave you the most trouble. Absolutely. Did I miss any losses here? I think I talked about Atticus destroying me. And then we're
Haunter,
okay.
The curses of life cannot simply be cured by a momentary stop at a Pokemon Center.
You didn't. Xenoblade music hits hard. I'm putting this in my feedback. Xenoblade music, good. It just fits so well. Have to go that deep.
I simply speak from experience, my dear friend. There was a time when I too felt cursed by the world. Any art piece that I'd pour my soul into would...
This is probably my favorite conversation in the whole series. I'm just gonna keep it going, but I just wanted to say that. I really like the way Adoran voiced Brassius here. I think it fit him really well.
Would simply not sell. Yet the ones I put no care in would rake in profits beyond my wildest beliefs. To watch my every piece of passion fail felt like a nail getting struck into my soul. Until one day, I broke. What is the meaning of art if there is no soul?
You know, I had a similar conversation with Iono, and she was very adamant about doing the thing that doesn't really sell as well, as long as I'm having fun with it. Anyways, how did you end up getting better after all that?
It was all thanks to Hassel. I had a lucky encounter with that runaway musician, and after letting him stay at my atelier, he decided to return the favor. As the future head of the Dragon Clan, he was trained in every aspect of running a large
I also kind of want to do a hassle video.
organization, and he used that knowledge to help me find some patrons who would support the art that I wanted to make.
So where can I find a hassle?
He's usually at the academy these days.
That's not what I meant.
I suppose, just like we can have curses, so too can we have blessings, although I am unaware of any particular methods to acquire either. Then again, so many things had to happen in order for me to meet Hass, that I may as well simply dismiss it as pure luck.
Same answer as Iono then. Luck.
She may be a rambunctious child, but it appears that Miss Iono...
Now, on the topic of luck, also hi Marie, hope you're doing good. I had a conversation with one of my friends over the summer in Bulgaria about, you know, luck versus hard work. And he's like a big believer that luck just doesn't, he's like, luck is not a thing. It's all hard work. It's all just, you work hard. I don't know, I don't think I won that debate with him. But for me, it was a good food for thought. And there's a book at Barnes & Noble that I once saw, which was, it was basically like how luck works or something like that. And I didn't buy it at the time, and then like I went there like 2 months later and I wanted to get the book and it was no longer stocked. And I never like took a picture. This is like one of my biggest regrets, because I think the topic of like luck versus skill is very interesting. Because, I don't know, I think to some degree all of us believe in luck to some degree. But you can't deny that hard work is also part of it. Yeah, it's not all luck or all skill. I think there's like a middle ground. But trying to kind of understand, like, what is luck? I don't know. It's just a topic I kind of want to delve into a bit more.
is wiser than she lets on. Perhaps I should take her on as my apprentice.
I think you should focus on getting the gym badge instead. Now go break a leg, Brassius.
Avant-garde!
And so he went into the spooky town to battle the spooky gym leader. The one bit of good news is that this guy named MC Sludge would commentate during the match over the speakers, and I could hear it. He was a fun character. So I liked MC Sludge as a character. I think in part because he kind of looks like Moist Critical, but Sounded like Brassius started out with Lilligant and Arboliva. He set up a quiver dance and attacks the bayonet with an energy ball since that thing has an ice type move. And then he goes for a petal dance to finish off the first ghost. I can't believe I used the wrong petal move for the whole run. It's supposed to be Petal Blizzard. And an energy ball to break Mimikyu's disguise. Meanwhile, the Mimikyu hits Arboliva, triggering its Seed Sower ability, which creates a grassy terrain. This will heal every Pokemon on the ground at the end of each turn, and boost the power of Grass-type moves by 30%. In other words, Lilligant's twirly attack can now easily one-shot Houndstone. The crowd was going wild, giving Brassius' Pokemon all sorts of boosts in the offensive stats and speed, which was bad news for Rhyme and her Toxtricity. Seems like Brassius had an extremely easy time winning this gym badge. Yeah, I think George and Matt, you guys got it right on the point. And that is basically where I've reached the conclusion as well. It's like, it's not all hard work, but you need hard work to be able to capitalize on when the luck shows up. And not necessarily, capitalize, maybe not the best word, but when you do get the lucky moments, you need to have the hard work and skill to be able to like benefit from them. Because otherwise you can get lucky and then it just goes nowhere if you don't have the like skills to do the thing that the lucky moment presents you with. Before running off to the next town, he decided that it was finally time for him to evolve little old Shroomish. You see, this Pokemon usually evolves around level 23, but there's a really important move that it can only learn while still a Shroom. So this is something I learned about in another video I scripted, I just haven't had the time to edit it. But pre-evolution moves just weren't there in Sword and Shield, so in Sword and Shield any Pokemon could learn a move. I think they just weren't as popular, maybe there were like a few here and there, but they made a big comeback in Scarlet and Violet. So it's one of those features that like they phased in and out, and I didn't even realize it until I started doing this. Shroomish. Spore. This is a powerful grass type move that can put any enemy to sleep with 100% accuracy, and Shroomish doesn't learn it until level 40. And now that it knows the move, it can finally evolve. And since our team is fully complete, we make our way to Alfornada and battle Tulip. The strategy here should be quite familiar at this point. Set up a quiver dance, then twirl around and sweep through most of Tulip's team. However, this won't work on Florges, who has the highest special defense stat amongst every Pokemon available in Paldea. I suppose the best way to fight Bulk is with Bulk, so we sent out Arboliva next and set up a Leech Seed. Then we chip away at its health with an Energy Ball and have Serena finish off the battle with a Drop Kick. And that left us with just one more gym badge to get. Not gonna lie gamers, I was a bit worried going into Grusha's gym, since Ice types deal double damage to a Grass type team. And of course,
also just to show you guys this little scene.
One more gym badge to get. Not gonna lie.
So I use this a lot for the background. This is like the little intro scene that plays when you start the sliding minigame, and I kind of wish this game had more of these like scenes that just show the scenery of the world more, because usually you don't really get a good camera angle to get like a good vibe of what a city looks like. Like you see it when you're walking around, but you never see like the cinematic zooms and stuff. Yeah, more panning shots. Yeah, I kind of wish they did that a bit more. I know it might like break immersion, but maybe like the first time you show up to a city, they do like the little pan to show like, hey, this is what the city's all about. I don't know, just a personal preference thing.
Hi gamers, I was a bit worried going into Grusha's gym, since Ice types deal double damage to a Grass type team. And of course, he leads with a Frostmoth, which resists our Grass type attacks. So I had to go for the Hyper Beam, which makes us unable to move for one turn. Thankfully, both of his Blizzard attacks missed, so we could take down Grusha's for—
Hi Thomas, just kind of rewatching the older episodes, being a bit critical here and there, hearing your guys' feedback, and then also just giving a bit behind the scenes thoughts of things that happened.
There's Pokemon, but that Hyper Beam left us wide open to an Icicle Crash, so no twirling around.
So I should probably turn
Serena
up the—
knew a fighting type move, so she was the next obvious option, taking—
I don't know if you guys do this, but usually I just listen to videos a lot of the time instead of watch them. So I just turn it down to 720 or 480p because I'm just listening to them. There's no need for the extra data usage. But I'll turn it up for this.
With a few HP to spare. The Titan tried to use Ice Shard, a speed priority Ice type move.
Which gym mission did you enjoy the most? That's a good question. I want to say Larry's because it's skippable. Like once you know the results, you can just speedrun it.
It would have been fun. What they should have done for the Larry one is they should have randomized it so that each different run has a different hidden recipe. But because it's the same every time, once you know the answers, you can just skip everything. But I thought it was a good way to kind of just go around and gather clues and stuff.
Move, but Serena's Queenly Majesty ability negates speed priority moves, which allowed her to attack with low kick and still not enough damage. That's okay because Breloom knows Match Punch, another speed priority move, which it uses to finish off the Titan. That leaves Altaria, who instantly blows away fighting Fungus, but its powerful Hurricane is not enough to one-shot Arboliva, so we can safely set up our Leech Seeds and take it down with 2 Energy Balls. Wow, I didn't think this battle would be that easy, but now the fun and games is all over. Having collected away gym badges, it was time to go eat a ham and pickle sandwich, then battle a bunch of Chansey to level up our team in preparation of the Elite Four. To be quite honest, my confidence in this run had gotten pretty high, especially with how well the last couple of battles went, but oh boy was I not prepared for what would happen to poor Brassius in the upcoming goblet. Things started out pretty smooth with Rika. Knowing that she has a fire type camera up, I decided to set up 2 quiver dances before attacking, then twirled away without healing Elegant first. This was a huge mistake because her Dawn Fan had the sturdy ability, meaning it survived with 1 HP and poison jabbed her poor flower. However, this was just a minor inconvenience. Breloom could match punch it, then one-shot the Dugtrio with a Seed Bomb, leaving Rika with just her ace, which we instantly put to sleep with Spore, then 2-shot with Seed Bomb. So far so good, I thought, until I...
Yeah, it is supposed to be Mach Punch. Yeah. Which episodes have you watched so far? This is the second one. So we're very slowly making our way through.
Open my bag to restore my team's health between battles. Yeah, so I usually buy a bunch of revival orbs.
Yeah, this is something I don't show, but usually the game basically gives you healing options everywhere, and then I just stock up on revival orbs to, you know, reduce the affection.
Before going into the Elite Four. It's a good way to restore the team between each battle and remove any possible affection shenanigans, but I was so confident with my win streak that I completely blanked out on buying enough revives. I did try to leave, but in classic Elite Four tradition, once you're in here, there's no backing out. The only way to go was forward. Up next was Poppy, and surely this silly little child won't pose much of a threat, right? I thought it would be a good idea to set up 2 quiver dances, which was fine since Poppy used her first turn to set up some stealth rocks, but then her elephant bulked through our strongest move like it was nothing and finished off Lilligant in 2 hits. In a panic, I sent out Sarita next, whose low kick could finish off Kaparaja, but then Poppy follows up with a Corviknight. This thing just resists all of our moves.
This is like the big trouble Pokemon on our team.
Corviknight would knock itself out thanks to Brave Bird's recoil effect, and with a slight nudge to its HP from a match punch, it did just that. Now it was time to fight bulk with bulk. She set up a light screen, we set up a leech seed, then she did some minor damage and we did some minor damage, but that's when I realized we had a secret move this whole time that could turn the battle around. Terrain Pulse is a weak normal type move, but it doubles in power and changes its type based on the current terrain, the grassy terrain, making it do significantly more damage than an energy ball. So after exchanging a couple of more blows, we came out on top, except she had 2 more Pokemon. The strategy against Bronzong was very much the same. Leech Seed, the Terrain Pulse, wait for it to faint. Although we also had to use up her one-time heal to survive this encounter. That left just a terrifying pink creature with a giant hammer which instantly knocked Arboliva off the field.
Hope you're doing good as well.
At this point, I was genuinely worried, but since this stupid child used Gigaton Hammer on the previous...
I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I called her a stupid child.
Pokemon, it's not a move.
A lot of people want a Chow Garden spit off. I would also play it.
Move it can use back to back, so she went for the Stone Edge, which barely did any damage. This meant we could hit it with a Fire Punch and, as luck would have it, inflict burn on the Pink Menace.
This is like a big time luck thing.
There was now hope. With its physical damage cut in half, the Gigaton Hammer was no longer a threat to our existence, meaning this fake tree could use its flaming fist to win the battle against this 5-year-old. However, this victory was bittersweet. Having enough revives would be the least of my problems here. Brassius simply stood no chance against Larry. He got wiped so hard that if Katie was toilet paper, Larry is a premium bidet fresh from France. On the bright side, I could finally go buy...
What kind of a joke was that? This was the dumbest joke I've made in the series.
A bunch of revival herbs.
Basically, I lost to Larry so I could go buy
that's
revival
good.
herbs.
And then I had to redo the battles against Rika and Poppy before getting to do my rematch with Larry. When I
also, Xenoblade music goes hard.
To do these runs, I usually give each battle 2 attempts before declaring a loss. That's because there's often something I can change between battles, like get a Pokemon to evolve or learn a new useful move, but the only thing I could change for this rematch with Larry was my strategy. So I set up a double quiver dance and twirled at him with Petal Dance, barely doing any damage. But once the dance was over, I could just blast that floating Bananasaurus with a Hyper Beam, getting the knockout, but knowing all too well that Lilligant had to take one for the team. Staraptor was the next major threat, as it could sweep through any of my Pokemon with its Brave Bird attack, but this thing was also much faster than Poppy's Corviknight, so we couldn't even get a hit in before getting knocked out. And of course, even though it took recoil every time it one-shot a Pokemon on my team, it still had 1 HP left just for Sudowoodo. We managed to bamboozle him thanks to Terastallization, and even got to one-shot Larry's Altaria, but his Oricorio
Okay, yeah, you're
was
right.
just
XB
too
in
powerful.
general
Even
goes
after
hard.
using our one-time heal with special
I'm very excited for X.
attacks would shred through our HP. Well, if I'm gonna lose a run, I'm at least glad I'm losing a run to one of my all-time favorite Pokemon.
Okay, so there's a loss against Larry out of all trainers. Interesting. Cool. I'm taking notes on where the wins and losses are and stuff like that.
Good job, Oricorio. You've defeated me. I could come up with some sort of cope excuse for failing a gym battle, but there's no way around the Elite Four. Brassius simply loses here. Of course, having made it this far, I figured I might as well see how Brassius does against his best friend Hasso and the top champion Gita. I mean, we're already here, right? So I cheesed the Larry fight with a boatload of revival herbs and moved on to the next one. We set up a quiver dance while he cuts her health in half with Super Fang. Then we hyper beam the Noivern, but don't really do much damage. Serena can finish it off with a play rough and also Zen headbutt the Dragalge, although she took too much damage from its poison type attacks. Flapple was going to be another major problem as it resists grass type moves, and even though Breloom tried its best, we couldn't take it down. Not a problem for Sudowoodo. Even Haxorus isn't that scary since we pack a lot of physical bulk, but Baxcalibur simply smashes through Brassius' art piece of a Pokemon as if it's just an ornament made out of glass. Of the two friends, Hasso would definitely
so
win
lost to
every
Hasso
single
as well.
time, meaning 2 absolute losses for poor Brassius here.
Dang.
He ain't standing no chance to be champion, but like Gita's right there, so we're gonna battle her 2 anyways. So
You
we
guys-
sent
you guys
Haxorus
remember
isn't
that from
scary,
earlier?
since we pack a lot of physical bulk.
It's not a
and
Nuzlocke.
Baxcalibur
Exactly,
simply
exactly.
smashes through Brassius' art piece of a Pokemon.
I think it's
as if
supposed to be like
just
the
an
Will Smith
ornament
hands.
made out of glass. Of the two friends, Hasso would definitely win every single time, meaning 2 absolute losses for poor Brassius here. He ain't standing no chance to be champion, but like Gita's right there.
I think I just traced over it. No, I clicked on a thing. No, hold on. Open image. It was this. Stupid things I do.
There, so we're gonna battle her 2 anyways. So we set up her light screen and then she gets a critical hit, which means poor Litigant is not gonna get to twirl ever again. However, if peace is not an option, Arboliva won't play nice either. The Avalugg seems scary because ice type, but it has the special bulk of a stick, meaning we can easily one-shot it. Veluza tried to be threatening with its Ice Fang, but Gita's just biting off way more than she can chew here. Out next is Kingambit, who we seed, but then finally managed to cut down our Arboliva. Too bad it's got a 4 times weakness to fighting type moves. Out next was a really cool Go-Goat, and after a very awkward exchange where both of our 90 accuracy moves missed, we managed to take it down, leaving Gita with just a Rock Terra type Glimora. This should be easy enough since we have a type advantage. Okay, maybe that was just a fluke, but considering Serena was our fastest surviving Pokemon, we have a problem. Breloom's Match Punch barely did any damage, and now Sudowoodo gets to be poisoned and lose the benefits of its sturdy ability. We should be fine as long as we one-shot though, uh-oh. It seems that even against Gita, we're so close to winning.
Yeah, so she has a poison type move.
But not even I could turn the tides of this battle.
And unfortunately, Glamora's faster than all of his Pokemon, so she gets like attack first.
Our Go-Goat maybe would stand a chance, but Brassy.
I think he's the only one who lost against Gita though. cannot become champion in Paldea. The grass types on his team might be strong, but they're simply too slow and not nearly bulky enough to win against the likes of Larry, Hasso, or Gita. And I'm pretty sure if you can't beat Gita, you definitely can't become champion, so I guess that's that.
And yet, this conclusion is perfectly fine by me.
Well, I'm glad you're not beating up about it.
Alas, this means I am unable to aid you in your quest. As I recall,
Yo,
it
Shining
required
Glamora, nice.
me to become a champion rank trainer, did it not?
You know, the only reason I said that is because I need to get that.
Red, I just read your comment. That is genius. You need art of him slapping any rock type Pokemon. So Will Smith can slap a rock.
Down to the bottom of Area 0, and I'm pretty sure you need to be champion rank to get permission.
Typically, misinformation leads to misfortune, but sometimes it simply keeps a door closed when it wishes to be flung wide open.
You're making it sound like you don't need the rank.
If it were anyone else, perhaps they would, but I know a guy on the inside. Let me go talk to old Haas and see what we can do.
It just occurred to me that even though a lot of things changed when I went back in time, the one thing that didn't was the package that Guido needed to send down to the professor in Area 0.
Haha! See? Sometimes there are blessings in this world too. Now then, I believe this is the lab we're looking for?
You are correct in your assumption, although I would not recommend being so loud in a place as dangerous as the Great Crater.
There's nothing down here that truly Wudo could not handle. You must be Professor Sada?
Your assumption is once again correct. Thank you for the quick delivery, and have a safe trip back home.
Yeah, I
Aren't
could have
you
done the
forgetting
SpongeBob thing. I
something,
should have.
Sada?
Did that Pokemon just talk?
Oh, I guess you really are.
Here's the thing. I have time gaps in the final one, and I think I will. So do like the SpongeBob time transition. I might.
Forgetting something.
My memory works perfectly fine. Thank you very much. I would never forget a talking Pokemon like you.
Yeah, just like your time machine would never leave me stranded in the past.
Who told you such silly rumors?
You, miss, works perfectly fine.
The things you're saying make no sense. However,
How did I beat Gita? I came back over leveled. That's basically like, again, nice thing about open world. I can over level and then just beat them and then continue the rest of the story fights.
it is better to err on the side of caution. Would you two mind coming into my lab for some tea?
I am quite famished after such a long walk.
Fine, but Brassius, stay on your toes.
So you're saying that I told you about a time machine?
Told me? No, you put me in it, sent me back in time, and then just left me there.
Even in the event that such a machine could exist, I would never send a talking Pokemon of all things unless I had a guaranteed method to retrieve them. Your accusations are baseless.
No, you're baseless. You're so.
This is going to end with a private viewing of Turo now. But the idea is to rewatch all of these before we reach Turo. So hello Foxy, welcome. Hope you're doing good.
excited about sending me through time and so sure everything would be fine, yet here I am, lost.
I don't believe you understand the meaning of baseless. For example, I see no time machine here. Do you, Mr. Brassius?
So then where does that elevator go?
Why, did Gita leak some top secret information?
No, you did.
I think I would know if it was me, and there is absolutely no one else here. So if it's not me, then it must be Gita. Oh, I'm gonna have...
I'm realizing this is an Ace Attorney moment. She got them psyche locks on.
some words for her.
You're such a bad liar, Sada.
Actually, she seems to be making a lot of sense.
Thank you. Also, you, Brassius.
Also, I did this before playing any Ace Attorney games, but this is very much Ace Attorney moment.
If you wish to leave this lab and return to the surface ever again, you must sign these papers.
Avant-garde! So much passion!
Brassius, take this seriously, please. Also, why are you siding with her?
Well, you do seem to be overflowing with facts that aren't backed by much. I see no time machine, and I see no one else to leak information but the professor herself. Mayhaps some of the toxins from a Shroodle infestation got into your Pokeball and messed with your memory?
Seriously, a Shroodle infestation? I guess I can see why the the time machine stuff doesn't make sense, but she definitely lied about there being no one else here.
Huh?
Little Maestro, have you heard the sounds of anyone else since we've entered? Would they not come to greet a rare guest, such as yourself?
Exactly. Seems like those Shroodle toxins do a number on a Pokemon's cognitive functions.
Wow. I'm pretty sure.
I think the voice lines that Vic sent me for this were titled something like Gaslight Girl Boss. Let's see, Brassius. I don't think I kept them as. Yeah, I didn't keep the raw thing. But I think Vic was like, yeah, Sada being a gaslighter.
Remember you saying something about having a trusty assistant.
Impossible.
Oh, I finally struck a chord now, did I?
Are the papers signed?
Indeed, it has been autographed.
Then follow me. It appears this talking Pokemon is indeed from the future.
Oh my, how truly avant-garde! But what gave birth to this newfound level of confidence, Professor?
Gita may know about my...
Oh yes, because the Skiddo version is one I sat down and voice acted to be all happy and energetic, and the Splatoon one is me. And I'm feeling kind of depresso today, so usually I got a bit more energy, but life.
My time machine, but I am the only one who knows about my assistant.
Seems to me that now there's 3.
I trust you know what will happen if that number goes up.
Not to worry, Professor. My lips are sealed.
You are such an
Intentionally left his mouth as wide open as possible for this.
uncanny man. Now then, mind your step as you exit the elevator.
See? Time machine. I haven't lost my marbles, only my place in the timeline.
So, you're confident that this machine failed to return you to the present?
Yes, you were on about how you've done 1,000,000 control trials and it never failed, and then BAM! I was stuck in a dark room.
He was in a storage closet on the 2nd floor of my atelier.
There was another random Pokeball that showed up there as well, but then it disappeared.
Do you recall what kind of Pokeball it was?
I'm pretty sure it was a repeat ball?
I see. Well, this matches up with our protocols. It seems the me in the future failed to retrieve you and launched a proven retrieval procedure using the repeat ball, which also failed.
See, I was right to be worried, but no, you sent me through time anyways.
And now you're back. So what exactly did you plan to achieve by coming here?
Well, I was gonna have you send me back to where I came from, or should I say when I came from.
This machine can only send things backwards in time, or bring them to the present. I'm afraid I cannot send you to the future.
But there's nothing you can do, then I really am lost.
It was a moment exactly like this that gave birth to my masterpiece, the surrendering Sunflora.
Now's not the time, Brassius.
Well, if you've got nothing else to do, how about participating in another experiment?
No, and why are you so obsessed with experiments?
I am a scientist after all. Experiments is what I do. Besides, we might gain some insight into your predicament.
Or I might end up getting even more lost.
Quite the
So this is kind of where I start setting her up as a more morally dubious character. Because, like, she wants to help, but her methods aren't the best.
stubborn Skiddo, isn't he? Say, Brassius, was it? This is technically your Pokemon, correct?
Oh, absolutely not.
I am indeed the owner of his Pokeball, if that is what you wish to know.
Don't fall for it, Brassius.
Now, Maestro, let us at least hear her out. It is quite rude to simply dismiss a lady.
I'm glad at least one of you has some manners. Now then, how about we have a little battle? If I win, you will lend me his Pokeball so that I may run a simple experiment. And if you win, well, the best I can offer you is the gems that you see in this very room.
Do you truly believe that I would betray a friend just for some rare gems?
Yeah, you tell her.
I am quite aware of your predicament, Brassius. Commissions and patrons have been on the decline lately, as has your mental health. Unless you can come up with some extravagant new art piece in the next few months, your career as an artiste might be reaching its rightful end. These gems can save it.
Quite the silver tongue you have there, Professor, but a simple stone cannot grant my greatest wish.
It's not just my tongue that's silver. I've accumulated quite the fortune thanks to my research. Should your art piece fail, I can guarantee to purchase it for a heavy price. One win, and you can continue being an artist comfortably for the rest of your life. So, what do you say?
You sure know how to drive a hard bargain, and I will hold you to your word the moment I win!
Wise choice.
No. Of course this battle doesn't go well, because Sada cheats. We tried to
Yeah,
hyper
this is
beam her
definitely a loss for
Slitherwing, but it
Brassius.
one-shots Lilligant, who is permanently banned from twirling in the end game apparently. Serena is able to bulk through its lunge attack, but it also lowers her offensive stat, meaning we can no longer
Money
one-shot
lot.
it with the Zen Headbutt. So it takes us 3 Pokemon to finish off her first. Out next is Screamtail, who we can barely damage, but thankfully our Boliva can bulk its way through. Using that signature Leech Seed to Rainbow strategy, we take out the fabulous Jigglypuff, but Fluttermane sets us aflame, leaving Brassius with just Sudowoodo once more. Thankfully we got a critical hit with Stone Edge and managed to knock it out. Then we drop her one-time heal and Trailblaze through Sandy Shock's HP, but we could not outdamage the Brute Bonnet, who sucker punched our offensive tree. Of course I didn't want to let her win, but none of my moves could do anything. Here I thought I could be as strong as Geeta's Go-Go, but who am I skidding? I'm just not good enough, at least not yet.
Well then, a deal is a deal. Now, if you please.
Hey, could you maybe not do whatever you're about to do?
But I've won. Besides, no harm will come to you from this experiment.
Yeah,
That's what you
she's,
said last
she's
time.
supposed to
Well,
sound
you
mean.
seem pretty unharmed to me.
I might look fine, but I'm not fine. I'm scared.
Then there's that
Do you
Christian.
even know
again.
how terrifying it is to be lost? For no one to recognize you? For no one to be able to help? Because that's what your time travel experiment did to me. And I don't want to go through it again. I don't want to be even more lost than I already am.
Then allow me to explain. According to your story, I could deduct the future me you met only sent you back about a week or two, which is exactly what the present me will do too.
And when I get stuck again?
Had you not shared your story, I would say the odds of that are 0%. But if you do end up being stuck, simply seek me out again.
Well, if you can't help me out now, how's the past you gonna be any different?
At the moment, we only have one data point. There is not much I can do with that. You are simply an outlier. But if that is the case, you will not get stuck again.
And if it isn't?
Then you'll have a second data point for me.
You know I have a master's degree in data science, right? There's not really much you can do with 2 data points.
Maybe not, but I could start to
No, 3
formulate
data
a
points.
hypothesis on what went wrong, which would be one step closer to resolving your predicament. So what do you say?
Why ask me if I don't have a choice?
It seems you're quite cognizant of your situation. Now then, let's begin.
I think I did a pretty good job with Sada's writing though. Like she definitely comes off as this
Hey
morally
boss, we
dubious
managed to
villain.
find something interesting in the data.
Finally, some good news.
Not sure how good this is. You see, I found 2 signals of him in different locations.
How can there be 2? That makes no sense.
That's why I thought it must be some sort of fluke.
So, what changed your mind?
When I went to double check the data, I found a 3rd.
So this was supposed to. I think this is like the last one I have like a end scene with Tulip in it. But it's kind of supposed to like foreshadow that there's gonna be a different Pokemon for the next one. And if you notice, the end music has a little bit more sound to it. So the first one was just piano. This one has like the little, I forget the name. It's like little chime. All right, what do we think about this one, gamers? I thought it was all right. Didn't quite hit as hard as Iono, but I still think it was pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. See, I always have stuff at the end. I think people just leave like before the end. Yeah, like a lot of people dropped out before this point. You give the Brassius a 7 out of 10. I think the humor was good, but it felt more low-key than Iono. That is true. Yeah, overall, I didn't think it was bad.
there was not quite sure what was not as good as Iono, but it did not hit quite as hard as Iono's video, that's for sure. Also makes much more sense to me that Brassius would agree to the risky deal. Yeah, that is true. Which is also why I kind of stepped away from that in the future ones. I was like, okay, this isn't quite hidden as much. Iono, you buy the hamster brain, but Brassius should be more mature than that. That is true, that is true. Well, the 7 and the 9. Any other ratings? Before we move on to Katie trailer. Katie trailer, and then Katie vid. Though it's almost lunchtime, so probably, I don't know if we'll get through Katie, but I'll try. Bum bum. Alright, I'm guessing if anyone else is gonna give a rating, they'll give it in a moment. How good the humor was, yeah. You're here for the story beats, and that's what sets you apart. Cool, cool. Competitive nature over writers rewatching. Alright, Katie time. So this is the Katie trailer. Compared to the 9 in... and I thought I'd go for something a bit more different, but... 7,300. So the trailer is progressively doing worse. But in this one, I thought I'd talk about the in-game trades in the game because it's game trades you could do in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet only offers 3. 2 of them are extremely easy to pull off since Wooper is a common spawn in the beginning area and Pinkerton can be found on the beaches near Levincia. That is true. But for some reason, the first in-game trade most people see in Cortando is the hardest to do. This kid wants a Flabebe, and they're a very rare spawn in a very hard to reach place. Of course, the other easier option is to catch 2 Floette and hatch one from an egg, but compared to Wooper and Pinkerton, getting a Flabebe is significantly harder. And what do we get in exchange for all that effort? A Snom.
They said you were called Snowzawat, but I...
Also, this was a short and it just cuts off the Snom part and people were very upset. They're like, I like Snom. Snom is good. And I'm like, I didn't mean it to make it sound like Snom was a bad thing. But it does kind of come off that way. A Snom.
They said you were called Snowzawat, but I'm starting to think you're more of a Toxawat.
I'm Vasko actually, and they didn't talk to me, just kind of picked up my Pokeball and ran over to ask you for a trade.
The children here know that bug types are my favorite, but they usually ask for a cookie instead of a trade.
Ooh, a cookie sounds good right about now, but if I were a kid, I think it would be pretty cool to get a Pokemon from the gym leader. Also, my friends would be so jealous.
If you know how they think so well, maybe I should take you back to play with them.
No thanks. Although I do need your help with something else.
Well, I am done with my baking duties for the day, so what can I do for you?
Think you could take me to see Brassius?
The artiste?
Think you could take me? Also, I hope you guys enjoy the table on this one. I was like, Snom is too short. There's no way Snom would be like on the level with them. So we gave Snom a table. Yeah, green hair, kind of weird, says avant-garde a lot.
Avant-garde!
Yeah, just like that.
Seems he won't need my help after all.
Hey, Brassius.
Who goes there?
It's me, Vasko, the little maestro.
Oh, I see. How wonderful. A child hiding under the curtains, pretending to voice a cute little Pokemon.
Oh, come on, Brassius. You don't remember me either?
Come to think of it, you don't sound like any of the children in Cortando. Are you perhaps a traveling performer? Or did we meet when I unveiled my masterpiece at Artisan? Either way, I certainly like your style.
Never mind. Hey, Katie, I'm gonna need your help again.
Out of sugar so soon?
I'm afraid so. Brassius doesn't remember me.
They say smell is the best trigger for memories. Shall we bake something to help him remember?
You know, I'd rather not. The only smells he used to talk about were Shroodle toxins.
Quite the character, that one. But I'm afraid I won't be using any toxins for my cooking. Anyways, you said you wanted my help with something else?
Yeah, I'm a little lost right now, and the only other person I could ask for help is the professor in Area Zero.
Well, you need to be a champion-ranked trainer if you want to go there.
Exactly, so... think you could do that? And then notice different transition at the end. The other ones were kind of muted, and then this has the outline of the fish, which is gonna be the main curse talked about in the video. Also, hi Ellie. You liked Katie's subterfuge at the end. I see. Again, essential story stuff trailer. Yeah, true. I just want to do a general story vid trailer rather than an individual run trailer. Solves that problem and leaves more time for work on the full vids. Yeah, that's a good idea. The early episodes, how every character calls you something different. Yeah. Cool. What do we give this one? What are we giving this one? I thought it was alright. I'm gonna give it 7.5 personally. I feel like I definitely changed the mood from the start to what it transitioned into later on. Which is like talking about in-game trades to, hey, this is the Pokemon you get from the trade. Also, another thing to notice is how the length gets significantly shorter. At 40, 35, now we're down to 25. I cut out like a whole 10-minute. I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious what's going on. Anyways, Katie has 71, so not basically the same as Brassius, I would say. 6 out of 10. Yeah. Also, it's unlisted. Alright. Yeah, I think we'll do the Katie one and then we'll call it quits there for today. Within one standard deviation. Yeah, that's true. This is Katie, the bug-type gym leader in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. She's often the first gym leader that most trainers face, and is actively nerfed by Geeta because of her role. So of course, I will take this turbo nerf bug-type team, add some extra nerfs just to make it even more of a challenge, and then play through the whole game as Katie. Why? Because I want to see if she could become champion. And I plan to do the same for all of the gym leaders in Scarlet and Violet, so if you enjoy the concept, do check out the full playlist linked in the description. Before setting out on this journey, I need to get myself the team that Katie. And this was like the quickest of the intros. 30 seconds, just snap. Okay, we're into it. Some people complain that the intros are too long, so I thought, oh, let's try a short one for this. But I feel like I like the ones where the intro's a bit longer. Kind of just establish what's going on better. Katie uses for the gym challenge. First is Nimble, who spawns right outside of Cortondo. Then we have Tarantula. We see a lot of these round boys hanging around the first route of the game. Also, they evolve at level 14, so say hello to Spidops. And of course, we can't forget her signature Teddiursa, which can terrestrialize into a bug-type Pokemon and has an egg move it could only learn from Zangoose or Sandslash. And while this does complete the team Katie uses, I also had to catch one more Pokemon before setting off, Kricketot. Now Katie does not have a Kricketot, but I'm bringing it along because she needs a level 42 Kricketune to teach the move Night Slash to her Heracross later on. So even though I won't be using this Pokemon in any of my battles, it'll still get to join me in the party so it can reach that higher level over time. I just don't want to grind later on, okay? And now that we've ran around and collected a bunch of Pokemon, it's time to kick off the challenge by battling Brassius. This should be an easy fight since bug types deal double damage to grass. However, his final Pokemon knows a rock type move, and those will squish our tiny little bugs. Thankfully, the AI in this video game is a little silly, so after using her Silk Trap move to lower Sudowoodo's speed, Brassius decided to spam Trailblaze so that his Pokemon isn't so slow. Meanwhile, we chipped away at its health with our weak bug type moves. By the time he switched back to using Rock Throw, his Sudowoodo was in the red, so Teddiursa could easily finish it off in a single hit. Having gotten our first gym badge, it was time to evolve Nimble and go bump into a bunch of trees until one of them dropped a Pineco. For some reason, this took way longer than expected, but at least we got one more Pokemon for the team, and it is
also the final Pokemon we'll get to use against the gyms. Now you might be thinking, doesn't Katie also get a Heracross? Yes, she does, but since I'll try my best not to overlevel during this run, I won't be able to catch a Heracross until after I've gotten all my 8 gym badges. These things just spawn at a really high level. So for the majority of the run, we'll just have to use these 4 for the gym battles and the 2 of us for moral support. The next gym leader we got to battle was Iono, who leads with Wattrel, a part flying type Pokemon who can resist all of our bug type moves and sweep through our team with its super effective pluck attack. However, since pluck is a physical move, we can use Low Kicks' newly learned lunge attack to lower the physical attack stat of our enemy, meaning our HP won't give a pluck when we get attacked. Out next is Bellibolt, who also gets debuffed by our lunges, but can dish out enough damage thanks to its Electromorphosis ability. Pineco could finish it off and also soak up Luxio's Intimidate. Compared to Spidobs, this Pinecone doesn't have nearly enough defense or offense, so I figured if I have to fodder one of the two, it's gonna be the Pinecone. The other reason to not fodder Spidobs is due to its Silk Trap move, which is one of the many different Protect style signature moves. This one lowers the enemy's speed stat if they use a physical contact move, which Luxio does. So we alternate between protecting and attacking, and even though Luxio gets to knock us out, it has such a low speed stat by this point that even an EP little teddy bear would hit faster. That just leaves Miss Magius, who tried to confuse us, but we didn't let the intrusive thoughts win. The nice thing about Teddy Ursa's Fury Cutter attack is that it doubles in power every time it hits, and since we're attacking for a 3rd turn in a row, the scrawny little ghost stood no chance. Things were looking pretty well for a little Baker friend, so I figured it's time to go take on a couple of Titans
so we just won against
movement, and then make Ursa's Fury Cutter attack is that it doubles in power every time it hits, and since we're attacking for a 3rd turn in a row, the scrawny little ghost stood no chance.
Just a win.
Things were looking pretty well for a little Baker friend, so I figured it's time to go take on a couple of Titans for easier movement, and then make our way towards Cascarafa for gym number 3. Unfortunately, gym leader Kofu was nowhere to be found.
That's old Kofu for ya.
You've met him before?
Yes, of course. He used to be my culinary teacher, and even back...
So, man, I'm really speeding through this. We're like 4 minutes in and already at the 4th gym.
then, he was always up to something. Sometimes he would get so caught in whatever he was doing that he wouldn't even show up for class.
So we probably shouldn't wait for him to come back then.
Right. Dough that's left to raise for too long is no good. It'll be better if we go look for him ourselves.
But Cascarafa is such a big city. Where do we even begin?
I think our best chance is to go to his restaurant, the Kofu Lounge.
We aren't gonna go in?
If you'd like a tasty snack, sure. But I just need to take a peek at the menu posted outside.
Are you sure we shouldn't check if he's inside though?
No need. If he was in there, he would have seen us by now and come out to greet me. Now let's see. Nothing too unusual here. Oh!
Found something?
Wakame.
Wakame?
Wakame. It's a special type of seaweed from the Hoenn region. It's the only ingredient I see on this menu that doesn't get shipped directly to the restaurant.
And you know where to find some, right?
Find? No. But I do know where the chef goes to buy it.
Okay, I feel like out of the 3 trainers we've watched so far, I did not write Katie that good. Because like Brassie's whole thing is the art, and Iono's whole thing is, you know, the VTubing. Hers, I couldn't quite understand Katie's personality too well. Like, she's supposed to be a baker, but like, that's it. Like, the game didn't give me as much to work with for Katie than the others. Yeah, she has a very minimal character. I feel like I could have done a better job at giving her a bit more personality. Because I think she just ended up being like, yeah, she sounds great. Marie did an awesome job of voicing her. I just don't think I did a good job of writing her. Because like, she just, at least from the start, she just kind of comes off as, yeah, I was just Kofu's apprentice at some point, so I know a bunch about this stuff. I just have the answers. Whereas the other 2 had some sort of like a conflict going on at least. Whereas Katie's just like solution.
Used to send me on errands there all the time. Porto Marinata.
It seems like Katie was right. Although when we got to the marketplace, it was really packed, and there was even a bouncer making sure that only buyers worth their salt could get into the auction site. His Floatzel wasn't a big deal, but his little Clauncher rock type move, it was a little bit scary.
Well, yeah, do what you can with what you're given, but I probably could have done more. Hindsight though, you know.
but mostly a mild inconvenience. Anyways, after we won, Katie and Kofu talked for a bit and participated in the auction. Then we made our way back to Cascarafa for a gym battle and some snacks. His part Psychic Veluza was easy pickings for low kicks and its lunge attack, and the Wug Trio also nearly got one shot by our first attack. Then it got one shot for real by a random sandstorm that was blowing through during our battle. I really hope this doesn't count as cheating. I can't control the weather. Anyways, low kicks also got to do a lunge debuff.
Yeah, that's the problem I've had with this gym a lot, is
Abominable
just sometimes there's random sandstorm. And I can't make it go away.
Before getting crabbed hammered. Then we followed up with Spite Ops and some Silk Trap shenanigans. Pinecco and the Sandstorm got to do a lot more chip damage to the Coconut Crab, and then Teddy Ursa came out for dessert, using 2 Fury Cutters to finish off the fight, although we were barely hanging on there at the end. To sweeten up the victory, we decided to finally evolve Pinecco and Teddy Ursa, then went on a culinary tour of Medali. Okay, it was more of a culinary tour, although I did get to enjoy some rice balls from an ice cream stand. Then we placed our secret order and got the battle there. Knowing how strong his Komala is, we decided to use Lunge to debuff it. Meanwhile, it used Yawn, which will put us to sleep after next turn. Then we went for a second lunge and passed out. Meanwhile, Larry kept missing every single turn. To be fair, Slam has a 75% accuracy, which feels like 5% accuracy in these games. So we got to wake up from our power nap and finish off the Komala with our HP completely untouched. Dudunsparce is another powerhouse of a Pokemon, so we also lunge at it, which helps us bulk through its attacks and knock it out with our lead. That leaves Larry with just his Staraptor, which will be a problem because it knows Aerial Ace. The thing about Aerial Ace is that it makes contact. Fortress also knows a move that lowers speed, so we spam Rock Tomb while bulking through a series of Aerial Aces. And since I don't want to risk losing because a 90% accuracy move misses here, we go for the Bulldoze to finish off Staraptor. It feels so wrong to use a ground type move to do this, but hey, it worked.
Oh yeah, the title did include roasting at the start, but I was like, I'm not really roasting it that much. So I changed it to rewatching, but the original title did say roasting.
After winning the battle, Larry treated us.
I feel like I'm going way too fast on this. Like the pacing is too snappy. And it doesn't give as much opportunity to like do jokes or elaborate. I'm just kind of like going snap, 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 battle, 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 battle.
To some free food, then went back to work. Meanwhile, we made our way up the mountain towards the spooky town of Montenevera.
Now that's a unique way of describing it.
Well, there are a lot of ghost types up there. Speaking of which, I should probably wait by the entrance.
And here I was, hoping to show you a secret specialty of Montenevera.
Don't worry, I can hear the music all the way out here.
Ugh, that rhyme really changed this town's reputation in just a few months. Before she took over as gym leader, the main attraction of Montenevera was actually its culinary scene.
That's the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay, maybe I added a bit too much marshmallow fluff to that
Also, yes, she's supposed to be kind of soft-spoken but snarky.
last statement, but they do have a one-of-a-kind restaurant up here.
Ooh, a unique restaurant? Do they sell some kind of fancy hot soup?
Hot soup? Quite the opposite, actually. Cold fish.
That's the worst way to describe sushi.
Even the wax chef Kofu would get riled up at that comment.
Then why?
It's good to get a nice laugh once in a while, no? Besides, I'm not a big fan of seafood.
But you wanted to show me the restaurant anyways?
Yeah, the head chef there was a classmate of mine. So even though it isn't my cup of tea, I like to drop by the sushi high roller to support him.
The sushi high...
See, I think this is a better intro of Katie here than what I did in the first thing with the Kofu wallet. Cause like this kind of shows her as, hey, I'm a bit of a foodie. I like to support the other chefs. I like, even if there's food I don't particularly like. I don't know. I feel like this gives her a bit more personality than the intro cutscene I had with her.
High Roller? That's not a unique restaurant. They got one of those in Medali too.
And Mesagoza. But the one in Montenevera has its own unique menu.
Seems like someone should update the wiki.
Like the berry?
Yeah, you're right, Matt. I rely too much on the conversation to help spread things more evenly. And not having that much to do with the character. Yep, I definitely.
No. Anyways, I'm not going into town, but if you do get a chance to order some takeout, I'd love to try some of your classmates' food.
I'll see what I can do. See you in a bit, Joey Bean.
She definitely has a mischievous side to her, and so does MC Sledge, who loves to narrate every single battle that goes down on stage. Here's how it went. Katie leads with low kicks in Spider-Man. She uses Silk Trap and Lunge to lower the Banette's stats, then takes it down with a Throat Chop and breaks Mimikyu's disguise. She
She then has her two bugs team up to take down the Mimikyu, and as soon as Rhyme terastalizes her Toxtricity, Low Kicks hits it with a throat chop, instantly ending its musical career. Poor Rhyme did manage to finish off Spidops, but that
the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I probably should have done a deeper thought about what I wanted to do with Katie's character.
Since she got the gym badge so quickly, Katie had some time to grab me some sushi to go. Good. After getting to eat so much yummy food in Cascarafa, Medalli, and Montenevera, it was time for us to burn off some calories by climbing all the way up to Alfornada, and we also took part in Tulip's gym test, which was basically a group exercise class. And then it was time to fight the fashionable
throwing more food
herself.
puns.
We
I agree.
tried to
That
lunge her
totally.
Farafrig, but it set up
That's a missed opportunity. Hold on, let me put this down. Have puns relating to the character. Have puns relating to character archetype. So like theme puns. So like, you know, Iono is a streamer, so we get like video puns. Highlight the various food. Yeah, so that was one of the things I try to do in this, is like each different character has a different thing that might highlight about the story. I don't think I did that much with Brassius. Like Brassius wasn't really highlighting much of the artistic stuff in the story, which I should have done more as well. Yeah, so highlight different aspects of the game. Different aspects of the game based on character. But also, like, Katie's more of like the sweets chef, and Kofu's the chef. So I think that's why I didn't do too much highlighting of all the foods.
for Reflect,
And
which was a bit
they really scuffed her. They could have given Katie's restaurant like actual items that you could buy, but you can't buy anything from her restaurant. It kind of makes me sad.
big problem since all of Katie's Pokemon are physical attackers. Here I thought this would be the easiest gym since we have a type advantage, but it looks like I really underestimated Tulip. I guess that's what I get for going into a gym with a whole 5 levels below the limit. So before doing a rematch battle, Katie and I went to train up a bit, taking on several psychic
Yeah, there
type
wasn't much art
breakdowns
stuff
and
as
some
well,
of the
yeah.
team star bosses. I don't talk about them in this video because they are not required part of becoming champion. And now that we've properly leveled up, the rematch went a
Wait,
lot.
what did I put in this
Several
text?
psychic type breakdowns and some of the team star bosses. I don't talk about them in this video because they are not required part of becoming champion. And now
Maybe I shouldn't do this last second thing. And they're too strong, and the gym leaders can't win against all 5 of them. Yeah, that is also true.
And now that we've properly leveled up, the rematch went a lot better, in part because the AI decided to go on the offensive instead of set up a Reflect with Tulip's lead. I've noticed this type of behavior change in previous runs too, where if you're too low a level, the game will go easy on you by using setup moves instead of attacking moves. But
Yeah, this is a legit thing that happens. Like, depending on your level, the AI will choose different moves.
from my experience, they tend to make the battles a lot harder. Anyway, since Tulip didn't have the damage reduction benefits of Reflect anymore, the Gardevoir just couldn't bulk its way through our heavy slams, and even Espathra got picked off by Fortress. That left Tulip with just her ace. She tried to make up for her earlier mistake by finishing off poor Spidops,
make
but
up.
we still had Ursaring ready to go, and with a single Fury Cutter, Katie won herself another gym badge. Now before we go to battle Grusha, we had to do the little sliding down the hill minigame, but in classic Pokemon
Oh yeah, the
Scarlet and
frosted-
Violet, I find yet another random
frosted
glitch.
ride.
For some reason at the start of the minigame, our Koraidon looked a little weird. Gamers, I give you the powdered sugar version of Koraidon, exclusive only to Katie's team, I think. Although it turned back to normal right after the game. Anyways,
I have no idea
Grusha
why
was
that
up
happened.
next, and his Frostmoth could easily one-shot poor Low Kicks, who's a bug that's weak to bugs. But that's okay because now it's time for Fortress to shine, using Gyro Ball to obliterate Frostmoth, bulk through multiple earthquakes from Beartic, and stall out the Tailwind. Spidops used its Silk Trap to slow down the Titan and chop away at its
Wait, has Katie struggled against any of the gym leaders so far? It's like maybe Iono was a struggle, but like she did win.
health with Brick Break, then Ursaring came in to finish it off with a Fury Cutter. Grusha's final Pokemon will be a huge problem since it knows Hurricane, but we got lucky during our rematch as it missed both of its attacks, and our third Fury Cutter was strong enough to strike out its remaining HP. Despite being asked to go easy on everyone by Geeta, I was pleasantly surprised to see Katie win every one of her
Yeah,
gym
okay, yeah,
battles.
she
But since
just
we now
completely
have
won.
all of the gym badges, it's time to get serious, which is what I should have nicknamed this Heracross. Anyways, we went for the usual flower spot
Pod, ate her Hicko sandwich, and battled a bunch of Chansey to level up. Also, is it just me, or are there a lot more Blissey spotting in this area after the DLC dropped? Could just be the Mandela effect, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this many of them spawn at once. Our last order of business was to give Sirius a mirror herb, which apparently lets you learn an egg move without having to make an egg. Thank you for explaining this mechanic to me in the comments of the Clive video. There is nothing in the game to indicate the existence of this mechanic, and I would have completely missed
this
it
is very
otherwise.
true. I
And now
really
that
wish the
team
game
is
did a
fully
better
leveled
job
and
of
complete,
explaining the
it
new
was time to
mechanics.
fight the Elite Four. Our first opponent was
I don't know how
Rika,
people
and her
even figured out the
ground-type
mirror herb
Pokemon.
thing.
Low kicks could spam enough lunges
I
to
genuinely
knock
don't know
out
how people
Whiscash
figured it
and
out.
have enough leg muscle to run a whole marathon. But the whole leg muscles were not strong enough to take down the Camerupt in one fell swoop. What Low kicks
Pocket
has for
typing in
legs,
chat.
Heracross
Hi,
has for
Chris.
arms, and it uses its Brick Break attack to take down the Camo and then slap away the Donphan. Spidops is out next to face off against Dugtrio, whose rock type attacks just proved to be too much. Also, we flinched a really bad time, and then got knocked out by a sandstorm. This must be karma for that win against Kofu. Anyways, Fortress finished off the moles, which left Rika with just her Clodsire. Both of our Pokemon could barely do any damage, so I had to sit there through several turns of us just slapping each other for 10 health, until eventually Fortress got knocked out. When
Yeah, Chris,
Ursaring
hope you're
came
doing
out,
good.
Rika decided to spam Protect, which is a good strategy if she had used Toxic first.
Yeah, this is another situation where Rika just doesn't poison you.
No, she was just randomly stalling for a few turns and then got knocked out. I don't know what the AI was trying to do there, but it failed. With one Elite Four out of the way, it was time to fight Poppy, the silly little child who uses Steel-type Pokemon, and considering most of Katie's team knows fighting and Ground-type moves, this should also be an easy battle. Our tiny little Low Kicks two-shots the Caparaja with its Axe Kick, and then Sucker Punches the Corviknight. Out next is our bulky Fortress, who spams Rock Tomb to reduce the Steel Bird's speed, and then we end up committing what Splatoon players would call a trade. Zone tries to be funny by setting up a light
sitting here
screen, but
wondering,
we
does
just
Katie
smash it to
become
pieces with
champion?
her Brick Break. It then switches to attacking us with a Discharge, which does knock out Spidops, but the Magnezone is too weak to take on Heracross.
I know I did the
This
video,
is a
but I don't
serious
remember
battle
the
after all.
results.
Her next Pokemon is Bronzong, and that thing knows
Actually,
Zen
I think
Headbutt,
like
so
most
sadly, Heracross
most characters
couldn't quite
don't.
turn the tides here. Although it's not a problem for
Like,
Ursa,
over half of
but
them
that
fail
thing,
for
that's
sure.
a problem. Not only does it nuke our HP with its Gigaton Hammer, it's faster and also lands a Stone Edge, meaning
Okay.
we lost
Never
to
mind.
a 5-year-old. Of course, I do
Poppy.
give these battles 2 attempts,
Dang
but
it,
she got
Poppy.
lucky and landed the Stone Edge both times, so Katie loses here.
This
now, I know
is-
some of you might say, well, with Poppy missed her Stone Edge, Katie could
This
have
is
hypothetically
where
won.
Poppy
so to
starts
give the
to
Sugar
sweep.
Bug the benefit of the doubt, I cheesed my way through the Poppy fight and tried to
Also,
take
hi,
on
Lan.
Larry.
Hope
Now,
you're
the thing
doing good.
about Larry is that he uses flying types in the Elite Four team, and if you thought Poppy's Corviknight was a problem, you can only imagine
Yeah, it
how
was like
bad
Iono
things
and
went
one other
here.
gym leader.
Needless to say, his Staraptor absolutely denied Katie any chance of victory.
Okay,
both
yeah, Larry
times.
destroys
But I'm already
too.
here, so after shredding a ton of Parmigiano cheese like a top Olive Garden employee, I made it through the Larry fight and got to battle Hazel, only to lose yet again. Them dragons were just too strong, and even though at this point there's a 0% chance of Katie becoming champion, I figured I might as well see how she does against Gita. After all, La Primera seems to have personally
Wait, she lost
pressured
against
Katie
Hazel
into
too, right?
Guatemala
I went
Garden.
so
Bobby
quickly
scored
through
yet
that.
again. Them dragons were just too strong,
Yeah.
and even though at this point there's a 0% chance of Katie becoming champion, I figured I might as well see how she does against Gita. After all, La Primera seems to have personally pressured Katie into
I don't
going
think
easy in
Garbodor's
her
the most
gym battles,
hated.
and I'm
I
starting
think it's
to wonder if
Bruxish.
her sweet little trainer could have just said no and fought her off, or maybe she had to follow Gita's orders because she lost their battle. We can easily one-shot her Spathra and Axe Kick the King Gambit. Her bulky Go-Goat might be a problem, so we skitter smack it around and lower its speed with our Silk Trap, and then finish it off with Heracross. Of course, when push comes to shove, we miss the Mega Horn and get slapped around with an Aqua Jet, so Fortress has to spam Bug Bite to finish off the
Oh yeah,
fish.
Simisear, the
Unfortunately,
monkeys.
that Avalugg is simply
People don't like
too
the
bulky
monkeys.
for our team of physical attackers, and even on the off chance that we do make it to the
Yeah, the
Gomorrah, her rock
Avalugg. So Katie's whole team is physical attackers, and Avalugg has like one of the highest physical defenses in the game. So it just like destroyed me. Alright gamers, so I'm at a weird point where lunch is ready. So I should go eat, but I have 2 options. I can keep playing this while I go eat and it's just gonna autoplay to the next one, and then I'll read your comments. Or do we just call it an end here? What do you guys think? Because we might be able to get through these 2. But I don't know how much more stream time I have anyways after lunch. But what are your guys' thoughts? You just stop it here, do I let this autoplay and then
Yeah, just call it here. You can handle the crowd. Not as fun without it. That is true. That is true. I mean, I eat pretty fast, so it's only gonna be like 10 minutes. So like you get to see the rest of the video, but I won't. Yeah. All right. I think it's a good time to call it quits then. Would you guys like to see a part 2 stream next week where I go through some of these? Maybe not all of them, but and probably get through like the Kofu vid. I don't know, did you guys enjoy this? Should we do this again next week? Or would you rather me just catch Pokemon and hang out? But yeah, I'll call it a quits there. Thank you for the feedback. I do appreciate it. You want to see your friends get some screen time for sure? Yeah. Okay, we'll do this again next week then. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the feedback. And yeah, I'll eat and then I'll go edit Turo. So have yourselves a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you for hanging out, and I'll see you around. Bye.